Yo, 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 here we are. Another day, another episode. We got big games to talk about. We got big storylines to talk about. Let's get to it. How's everybody living today?
Doing
Disappointed.
good, man.
What you disappointed in, Morris?
Needed a 7 game series.
Oh,
Needed it.
man.
Needed a 7 game
The
series.
Hawks are trolls, man. The Hawks are trolls. They're not serious.
I had faith. Not really, but I was praying.
That
Why
last
did
minute of basketball was disgusting. That was some disgusting basketball.
Oh,
That last
my
60 seconds,
God.
especially the last 20 seconds. That last 20 seconds of
Get the
playing,
ball in bounds. Get
of
the
playing
ball in
who's gonna get it
bounds.
in bounds,
What
just
the
throw it
fuck?
off the guy. That's
What are we
crazy.
doing? Get the ball in bounds. Not once, by the way, Damo. Twice.
Oh no, 3 times. Trey did it twice in a row, and then DeAndre Hunter did it to Al Horford again, and then he pulled the Giannis and just threw it out of bounds.
Get
I was
the
like, yeah,
ball in
they don't
bounds.
want to win.
Get the ball in bounds. What are you dudes doing? This is unbelievable. So, my problem with Atlanta Mars is this effort that you saw yesterday. I understand that it's an elimination game, right? And there might be a little bit more effort. Maybe, just possibly, just an idea. But maybe if you would have had this effort during the regular season, maybe you would have gotten a higher seed. And maybe you wouldn't have been in the 8th seed or the 7th seed. I had to see Boston in the first round. Maybe you might have got a better matchup. Now, I understand also that you got a new coach, you got a new voice in there. But Nate McMillan's a damn good coach. And the fact that you dudes ran him out of there like that is unacceptable because I thought that you guys were doing well with him. The problem that we having with Atlanta, number one, Trae Young's shot selection throws them off. He completely thwarts their offense. He has them going this way, then that way. Then he'll get guys involved. So there's really no rhythm. Him and Murray in the backcourt, they've been a minus because one game Trae Young is great, but then the next game Murray is, and then Young isn't. And the reason why that is because he can't really play off of this dude because they don't really have that kind of continuity because of his shot selection. So that thwarts them. I don't know what they do in Atlanta moving forward. I really don't.
I think the answer, any team with a guy like Trae Young, Luka Doncic, those type of guys, adding stars to that doesn't work because I don't think their game is made to get away from the ball. I think you add stars to that, you just end up ruining the continuity. I think you need people who are fine not having the basketball, a bunch of spot-up shooters, bunch of defenders, lob threats, and you just say, we need you to elevate the whole offense around you. We'll play the defense for you, and you just bring the offense as far as you can. I don't think that's ever a recipe to win a title, but I think that's the only way you get the best out of guys like Trae Young and Luka Doncic because you put stars around them. It just doesn't look like it works. And I think that's just due to either an unwillingness to get off the ball or an inability to do it. One or the other. So that's my solution, I guess.
If you're gonna keep Trae Young, you gotta get somebody who he respects truly with the ball to get him off the ball. With the Hawks personally, I think you need to. I'm not gonna say blow it up, but try something different. Move Trae Young. I don't think you can win with Trae Young being the focal point of your team, your franchise. He could probably be your primary scoring option, but your team would have been constructed a crazy way to be able to do that. Them moving forward, especially if they're not going to move John Collins, they got to get out Trae Young. This series, this should be his last series in Atlanta, in my opinion. I don't know where you move him. Obviously, I'm not in front offices. I could throw options out there, but they got to do something. They gave it a shot. They done signed all these assets, all these vets, all these pieces. They've moved this player and that player. They've tried. This might be. No, I don't think this is the best team he's played with. In Atlanta, maybe in terms of DeJounte Murray might be the best guard he's played with, and if that's the case, if DeJounte Murray is the best guard you were able to get for Trae Young, and this is the end result, blow it up. It's not going to work. And I even blow it up in terms of the whole team. Just move Trae Young and try something different. Do what you see Utah, the Thunder, these other teams doing where they're rebuilding with assets and trying to compete. Don't necessarily just tank, but it's not going to work.
So Damo said move off of him. That gives me two questions that I want to pose. What are you looking to get back for Trae Young to basically build around, I guess, John Collins and DeJounte Murray? And also, what's a good landing spot for Trae?
I ain't building around John Collins. If Trae Young's going, John Collins is going too.
Yeah, you package them. If I'm them, I'm packaging them together if you can. I said it before, and a lot of people pushed back on it. They didn't like it, but I think for Atlanta, it's a good move, and it's a good move for both teams. Send him to Minnesota. I think sending him to Minnesota, because I feel Minnesota has to come off of either Cat or Rudy Gobert. So I say you probably move Mike Conley and Cat, Trae Young, John Collins, just rough draft, just throwing it out there, make contracts match. You swap those, throw some picks in there, boatload of second-round picks like we've seen this season, maybe. And that's beneficial for both teams. That's my option. I can't really think of another team or situation that works for both teams where you could trade Trae Young. Any other situation?
Such a disgusting trade.
Why is it disgusting?
I can't see myself. Now, you guys know I'm a Trae guy. And I have admitted time and time again that Trae's brand of basketball can be nasty. Trae will have a terrible brand of basketball when he's chucking up shots and he's not making them and turning the ball over as well. But it's no way on God's green earth I see myself trading Trae Young for a 6'11 dude that won't even touch the paint and tries to beat Trae Young. It's like I just that's nasty.
So what are you trading for? Future?
Well, first and foremost, why are we trading him? He's our only asset. That's number one. And to Mars's point, winning the championship is really difficult, guys. You got to get some luck, and some things have to go your way. So in the meantime, the guy that I got on this crew, I'm going to build around him with guys who don't need the basketball. That actually is a good idea. Dallas did it with Dirk Nowitzki, where he was their primary playmaker and their primary scorer. So with that being said, if you do that with Trae, you get guys around him who can shoot the basketball, like Herder, who they had, right? Like Boggs, who they also have. If you get guys like that around him, and then hopefully some things go your way, where you have a playoff run like you had in 21. If you have stuff like that, then it's different. Everybody that's great in the NBA is not going to win the NBA championship. There are a lot of guys who some things are going to have to go your way. But from a business standpoint, I'm not moving off of Trae Young. Trae Young is the ticket seller. The majority, I'm not rolling out John Collins and Clint Capella on the moniker. I can't do that. Absolutely not.
That's fine, but they're already talking about trading them. This is what I'm saying. Like the rumors are already there, and they already are interested in doing that. That's why I'm like, okay, if they want to do it, then I'm in the mindset of, all right, bet, what's the best move for them? If they're not talking about trading them, I'm immediately saying you trade John Collins, you trade Clint Capella, you trade every pick you have, you trade DeJounte Murray, you keep Trae Young. If they're not talking about trading them.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Damo, because what's the holdup? How long we've been talking about trading John Collins now?
At least 2-3 years.
Okay, so and that's if you watch his game has digressed because of that. It's not like he's old or he's had a bunch of injuries. He's gotten hurt here and there, but it hasn't been season ending. I think that's affected his game a lot. So if you're gonna get off of him already. And if he's gonna be a part of your future, make him a part of your future. I understand that they signed him to a long-term deal, but you don't sign a guy to a long-term deal and then the next minute you're talking about every trade that comes up, his name is in trade talks. If he's your guy, not only make him your guy, but make it clear that this guy is not available in trade. We're building around him. We're building around Trae Young, and we're building something serious here.
Do you feel the Hawks are asking too much for John Collins? That's why they can't move him? Because I think that's what the issue is. I think there are teams out there that'll take him, but the Hawks are trying to get they're trying to get a king's ransom, or they're trying to be the benefactors or the winners of the trade to trade him. I don't think they want to have a situation where it's a win-win, or people see, or the narrative is they lost the trade.
Well, I don't think that they want to trade him, to be honest with you, but they've gotten calls and those calls have gotten out. So they've entertained it. And because they entertained it, some people are saying, well, what's the holdup? Like me, I'm saying, what's the holdup? I don't think they really wanted to trade him, because I'm sure that there's some people who've called and said, yo, we'll give you a 1, we'll give you 2 1s or something like that. I don't think they really want to trade him, but they had to entertain it, and now it's gotten out. They could have put a cap on this by saying, yo, he's not available, only except they haven't. And they've continued to entertain they've continued to entertain these trades. If they would just trade him already, it's not that they're asking for a king's ransom, because I'm sure that there have been plenty of deals on the table to trade John Collins. I'm sure there have been. So if they're going to trade him already, trade him. And if you're not, make it clear, yo, he's not available.
But my next question, though, is where would Trae fit in? If you could possibly see Trae going somewhere, obviously they can give up some assets, or they would have to give up some assets. But where's a landing spot that you could, see him fitting in at? It could be a young team where they have to build, or it could be a contending team where, he be
Orlando.
Trae's gonna be one of those guys that just waste his career. Like there's nowhere for Trae.
You think he wasting? You think he wasting away in Atlanta, Bob?
I think he's gonna waste away wherever he goes.
So wherever he goes,
Trae's an Allen Iverson. You know
mm.
what I'm saying? He's not as good as Allen Iverson, but Trae's gonna be one of those guys that just wherever he goes, he's just gonna shoot his team out of the playoffs.
So he's not a winner, is what you're telling us. And he doesn't play winning.
You're saying AI's not a winner. That's crazy.
It's not. Well, he's not. AI is not. AI wasn't a winner. And I hate to say those two names in the same sentence, but Trae is just not. I mean, wherever he goes, like Atlanta wants too much for him. You know, he's not. It's not like you can send him somewhere that's going to be a winning situation. Wherever you go, you got to dismantle the roster anyway. So it's kind of like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? We wasting time thinking about trade options for Trae. We're talking about Minnesota, stuff like that. Like, what's you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not going to happen for Trae. It's not going to happen for Trae in Atlanta. It's definitely not going to happen for Trae in Minnesota. So, you know what I'm saying? What are we talking?
Actually, to be honest with you, Ron, and I know I'll probably get killed for this, but I like Trae in Toronto. I think if they were to move off of Van Fleet and maybe if they could hold on to OG and Siakam, I actually like Trae as a distributor up there on that unit as opposed to Minnesota, especially for giving up Cat. I mean, I think you can get a better option. I think that's a better option in Toronto. I don't see them giving him up in the division. So like the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, no. Mm-mm.
What about Chicago for like DeMar DeRozan or something?
You need them. They need defense. The reason why the Bulls.
I mean, Alex Caruso is like the best defense in the backcourt you can get.
Right. No question about that. But the difference is that the lead guard, which was going to be Lonzo Ball, who was a better defender at the point guard spot, that was going to be the difference. So when he goes down, I already know how you feel about DeMar DeRozan. So, but anyway, the fact that he goes down, now DeMar DeRozan has to be the primary ball handler. And then now you got to add Zach LaVine in to also have those duties. None of those guys do that. Well, when you got Lonzo Ball, also as a playmaker and as a distributor, but also he's a defender. So now I got three guys in the backcourt. So I got Lonzo Ball, I got Lonzo Ball, I got Trae Young, I got DeMar DeRozan, and I got Zach LaVine. None of these three dudes defend.
No,
and
get rid of DeMar. Get rid of DeMar for Trae. So DeMar's in the trade. So it'll be Trae Young, Alex Caruso in the backcourt, Zach LaVine at the 3. You figure out the 4 spot, maybe Patrick Williams because he can play defense. And then you get Vucevic out of there with, I don't know, you sign a big in free agency, give Brook Lopez a contract. That's 3 good defenders. Zach LaVine is meh, and then you just try and hide Trae Young the best you can.
Oh, good luck hiding him. We already
that's hard to hide. It's hard to hide him.
Good luck with hiding him.
But I think that's a solid defensive unit.
Yeah.
Remove the division.
Trae is terrible.
I was about to say, if you remove the divisional aspect, which I didn't even think about at first, honestly, that Chill brought up, if we're just talking teams you can see him fitting on, I ain't gonna lie, man. I do see him fitting well on Orlando.
I see that. I do. I see that.
Forces him to come off the ball. He's playing with Franz and Apollo, along with Bo. I think they might retain Bobo. I'm not too sure, but he's still playing with talented individuals, young guys. Fits his timeline. He will be the older of the young guys, but fits the timeline a little bit. They're dogs. They're forcing him to be off ball, and he has to play. He has to buy in down there. He's not going to be able to just take and shot chuck and do all this and that. He's going to have to buy into something.
Well, why would he do that?
Folks development. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, no,
why would he do that?
Who do that? The Magic?
Trae. Yeah. Why would Trae buy in to anything in Orlando?
I mean, why wouldn't he? What is he? I mean, the best he's done is luckily gotten to, I want to say, East Conference Finals or the second round. Like, he luckily got there.
But Damo, he's already sent 2-3 coaches packing in Atlanta. What's going to change in Orlando? Why would he go to Orlando and be like, oh, well, this is the team I'm going to buy into? They got Franz Wagner, they got Paolo. Like,
it wouldn't be him going there. It would be him getting traded there because they have assets that Atlanta could use. Now, him being there, again, he's playing with talented individuals, and listen, this is hypotheticals, but it might change his perspective on how he's been playing the game of basketball.
It won't.
I mean, hey, you say that.
No,
hey, man,
Bob is out on Trae Young. Yeah, he out on him.
I feel it.
So out.
He out on Trae Young.
But the other night, like, that was incredible. Like, that was incredible.
You're gonna get games like that from him, though, Bob. You definitely gonna get games like that.
Sometimes you're gonna make it, but nah, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that idea, chill, with Toronto. Kind of just, I mean, Bob had mentioned it, and once again, I don't want to compare him to Allen Iverson, but under Allen Iverson's situation where it's kind of like we put a lot of defensive pieces around you, I think Toronto would be a good look. Like I could see them trading him for OG. Now all of a sudden Atlanta wins because they can insert, OG into the lineup, and I think OG a benefit next to
Murray.
Murray and OG will low key be a good duo for real, a good defensive duo, and they'll they'll be able to get it done on the offensive end too. Some of the other pieces over there that can still flourish as well. That would be good for Atlanta, but Trae up there with the size and the length of Toronto, that'd be a good look for him as well. But other than that, I can't really see too many other scenarios working out.
Yeah, because of the type of player that he is, I can't see too many situations where it just works for him. And obviously, I don't know he's a great player. He's definitely a good asset. So I don't know what teams have enough assets to give up for a Trae Young and still be competitive at the same time.
That's what I was thinking with Orlando, because if Atlanta would have called Orlando and asked for Trae Young, number one, they're not just getting, as I would say, a bucket of extra crispy in a six-pack. We're going to have to come off some of those really good young guys that you have, right? And you might have to – and a lot of those guys are on rook deals, or not just rookie deals. They on short contracts with a little bit of money, which means that you got to make the money match. So you're going to have to come off one or two of those guys. And I know how Big Ox feel about Wagner. You might have to come off Wagner in addition to another one of those other. You might have to come off Wagner in addition to one of those other guys just to make the money work. Because
can't do that shit, man.
Because I know you can't, but just to make the money work. And Atlanta, they're not just going to hand over Trae. They're not just going to do that. No.
Well, you don't think they'll do it?
That gave up Luka for him.
I mean, you gave up a lot for him, so obviously you want a lot back. But you don't think they'll be able to go Markel, Jalen, or Cole Anthony? You probably throw some
Atlanta's
more role players and a ton of picks. You throw your whole future at it. You don't think Atlanta do that?
Atlanta's not doing that, no. Because Atlanta's in the playoffs, and because they're in the playoffs, they were just in the Eastern Conference Championship 2 years ago. Now, I think they've taken steps backwards, but with that being said, they still feel like they're not that far away. So to give up Trae for a bunch of young guys and a bunch of picks, you're essentially saying we're starting over. That's essentially what you're saying.
You're getting more money in your books, and this will be on Atlanta to show that they're actually a good organization, that your front office isn't on fire. Right. You get depth. You probably go into the offseason, you sign veteran players, you sign other role guys and key pieces. Obviously, you're going to take a step back, obviously. But the hope is you get enough depth, you get enough vet presence, you probably you keep a DeJounte Murray, you don't come off of him. You still got Clint Capella. In this situation, I think you will move John Collins, but even if you don't, it'll be more of that, how you will hope you have how Memphis looks without Ja. Like you take Trae Young away, now these guys have confidence. Now the ball is being spread around more. Other guys are able to step up. DeAndre Hunter's able to develop more, things like that. That's what you'd be hoping for, but it's a risk. It's obviously a risk-reward type of situation. It's not a night and day thing.
Yo, Ticket, you still there?
Yeah. What's up, y'all?
What's going on, player?
Ain't none. I think it's schemes. Trey needs to be able to accept coaching, first of all. So it doesn't matter to me. The trading doesn't matter, because if wherever you trade him, if you don't accept coaching, it's going to be the same problems. I think they got enough talent in Atlanta. They've already showed that. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals before, been a step away from the NBA Finals. I wouldn't blow it up. I would see what Quinn does with the scheme. He did kind of save the season this year from being a complete failure. And they did take a team that a lot of people thought was going to the finals to 6. Potentially, I almost took them to 7. So with that being said, I would give him another season. I would give him a full training camp with Quinn. I think he does have good schemes. I know he wasn't able to get his stuff in that he wanted to get in the short period of time that he was there. It's just not enough time for him to get all the stuff he wanted to get in by, because, when you go into preseason, by the time you get through training camp, by the time you get midway through the season, a coach probably has over 400 or 500 plays in the NBA. So I know he wasn't able to just go change their whole sets. He probably just put in a little bit of what he wanted to do here and there and mix it in with whatever the old coach McMillan was doing that he liked. That's normally what happens when the coach takes over midway through. He'll find out what they was running and then keep a little bit of what he liked for right then, so he doesn't throw too much at the guys. But I just think it's about schemes, man, about how you use Trae. You can use Trae as far as schematically as a coach and get him off the ball more. So it ain't just, oh, well, let's just move Trae, because if you move Trae, he goes to a different team and you don't change the scheme, he's still going to be doing the same thing. But if you change the scheme that takes the ball out of his hands, that utilizes guys like Collins more, you're calling those guys' numbers more. Now we got a different situation going on because Trae Young will be singled out if he's out here just jacking up shots then. So I like Trae Young as a talent. I like his clutch gene and all that other stuff. I just think that schematically, I need to see a different scheme with him as far as helping to get other guys involved in the offense. And then I think you'll see the best of the Atlanta Hawks. They got potential, bro. They just remember they just played the Celtics, though. Yeah, go ahead.
Ticket, is it fair to say that that's what Nate McMillan tried to do, and that's what got him ran out of there?
His scheme, I like Nate, and I think he did for the respect of Nate. But his scheme still was too much Trae Young demanding. I think that the scheme need to come off, particularly Trae Young, and involve other guys like Collins and these guys more. Because remember, Collins was rolling last night when they gave him the ball. He was getting buckets for a stretch there last night when they gave him the ball consistently. But they don't have they don't have like a rip. They don't know what they want to do during the course of the games. I watched that. It's just it's like just playing basketball.
If you take the ball out of Trae's hands, was Quinn Snyder there now? If Quinn Snyder takes the ball out of Trae's hands, Quinn Snyder's going to be looking for another job.
Yeah, because he's going to start balking.
No, not like that. Not like that. I'm saying like this. Like when I say take the ball out of his hands,
that's what he was doing.
I mean,
I feel like that's what Nate.
No. I'm saying when you take listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. I'm not saying take his shots. I'm saying you taking the ball out of his hands so he's not counting it as much and using up the clock and make. For example, look at the Golden State Warriors offense. Look at their offense. Trae Young will be a monster in that offense. You know why? He ain't got to touch the ball much. But guess what? He going to get his cuts. You see what I'm saying? He going to get his shit off. And guess what? He going to get easier opportunities. So I would love to see him in that type of offense, in a moving offense, who was where, matter of fact, I wouldn't mind seeing him with the Warriors. I wouldn't mind seeing him with the Warriors if they want to go to trade Jordan Poole or somebody else like that for him, package him up. Because I think he can run the point out there, and I think he would thrive in an offense like that with a lot of movement, off-ball movement. He needs to be moving off the ball. They don't have him moving enough off the ball. He's controlling the ball too much. So that's what I mean. Him coming off doubles and then coming back to get the ball, him coming off curls, pin downs, or whatever, and being able to come off, catch, and shoot instead of him just dribble, step back, pull up three, dribble, penetration, try to throw up a floater, dribble, let me in trouble, let me find somebody else. Nah, let's get an offense to where you bringing it up, you coming up off of it, you diving down, setting a pick, cutting through yourself, coming out the other side hard, coming off a double down, boom, jumping. You understand what I'm saying? Something like the Golden State Warriors with a lot of movement. I would love to see him in the teams like an offense. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see him like that. Go ahead.
I honestly, Ticket, and I don't root for any team, but I was rooting for Boston last night because I was not wanting to see you in here in Game 7. I was not. I'm not gonna lie to you, Ticket. I did not want to see you in here in Game 7. I didn't.
They gave it away at the end.
I was like, come on, Boston, because I do not want to listen to this dude tomorrow. If these dudes it's Game 7. You and Mars, I was like, please, let's go Boston. Let's go Boston. Let's go Boston. So
they gave it away, man. They had to start. They gave it away.
You saw the better. I think you saw the better team. I think you saw the better team in the last 4 minutes of the game. Atlanta's scheme was we're going to let Marcus Smart and Al Horford are the ones that's going to have to beat us. And they're going to make Jayson Tatum and they're going to make Jaylen Brown make tough shots. But you two dudes are the ones that's going to have to beat us. And they did. And they got stops at the end too, which was even bigger.
Anybody else want to comment on the actual game and what Boston did?
To answer what you said, they got enough talent though. They have enough talent to go deep. Like for example, that could have been the Eastern Conference Finals right there. I mean, to be honest with you, they have enough talent. They've shown you that they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals with those guys, and then they added DeJounte Murray. So here's the question: how do we get guys to buy into what we want to do? Because see, listen, I think they're a dangerous team for all those guys, for Philly, all those teams that we saw in the playoffs. They're a dangerous team because they can be a high-powered offensive team. They do have guys, but then look at this. You got Clint Capella missing layups, 2-foot layups under the basket. Dunk that shit. Like, bro, come on. How many layups I see him miss last night? How many layups did DeJounte Murray coming down? It's a tie ball game. You coming down missing layups, wide open. Like, they gave that game away. Like, if you watched that game last night, they missed wide open layups. Murray missed a wide open layup, dive down the basket, tie ball game, like 106 or tie ball game. He does that, doesn't get it. Jaylen Brown comes back down. Guess what? He drives it and scores. Then you come back down, another one. Trae Young goes baseline, puts up a floater, doesn't go. Ball goes the other way. They swing it, extra swing to the corner. Al Horford 3 to the dome. Then the next play, it come down. What happens? They get the ball. Big boy gets the ball under the basket. He turns around, supposed to be a wide open dunk now. He turns around and just blows a bunny layup. He acting like he's 50 years old. Clint Capella can't get off the ground. What do? They come down, dive down, kick it out. Marcus Smart, wide open, on the wing, butter. Game. Straight like that.
I think there's a concrete ceiling with Trae Young being the best player on your basketball team if you're trying to compete for a championship, and it won't work. I think Trae Young has to be at most second best, possibly third best if you're trying to compete for a championship. He has all the offensive talents in the world, but how he's playing and the fact that he hasn't been able to show that he can buy in to playing off ball, which you can blame the coach, you can blame the system, you can blame him. We haven't seen it. Whoever fault it is, we ain't seen it yet. So his inability to do that, and the fact that the only place you can see it working is on the Warriors of all places, like there's a concrete ceiling with having Trae Young as your best player. And how the Hawks, they can be as talented as you want them to be or you think they are. They're not. They peaked. They peaked at the Eastern Conference Finals, in my opinion. With as many teams that are getting better in the East, with the actual dogs that are in the East, I don't see them actually doing anything with Trae Young being their best guy.
Dom, I agree with what you're saying. But I'm saying they can still have that team, and he don't have to necessarily be the best guy. He can be the closer. You know what I'm saying? Their best guy could be one of those other dudes. You can have a combination of guys who are putting up good numbers for them. They got Collins who can give you 18, 19 points. They got DeJounte Murray, who's been good under good coaching with Popovich for all those years. He can give you 18, 19, 20 points. So that's two guys right there, plus Trae Young. That should be enough to get you home. And then you got a closer in Trae Young. But Trae Young, he does so much stuff in between. And to somebody who was in the comment section I said something about Trae Young setting picks and right, bro. You can ask Chilltown, bro. The coach will make the smallest guards. Sometimes those are the best picks that are set is when the guards come hit. When the guards come hit a pig and nail you.
Stockton used to set picks all the time. What are you talking about?
That's right, bro. Those are some of the best picks.
Yeah.
Steph does it all the time. He'll go, he'll dive down, go set a pick, and then come off a double on the other side. You understand what I'm saying? So you guys got to learn about
Stockton used to do that with the cross action with Malone all the time. Get him open on the block, get him open in the middle of the rim. He used to do that all the time. So
we don't
not buy into that. Yeah.
We don't see from Trae Young. We don't see Trae Young getting backdoor cut opportunities. We don't see none of that. All we see is dribble, pull up, dribble, drive, penetration, and do something crazy. We don't get to see no other. We haven't get to see him be coached in no other way who is where a scheme is allowing him to get easy buckets. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a coach, my first thing I want to do is for Trae is to get him easy opportunities. I don't want you dribbling the air out the ball. I don't need you to do that. You understand what I'm saying? I need you to be coming off like Steph do, like Clay. I would show him video of Steph Curry. You don't shoot like Steph, but your percentage will go up if you get some of the shots that Steph gets, because Steph is coming off doubles. He's constantly moving. He's constantly setting down picks. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of it is the scheme, and then Trae Young, the buy-in. That's what it is.
He's not coachable, Tiki.
Well, a lot of people said it wasn't coachable. They said Dennis Rodman wasn't coachable. But, I mean, look how many championships he got. They say a lot of guys ain't coachable. So, but look at Rasheed Wallace. They say Rasheed Wallace wasn't coachable. He got a championship. So I'm saying a lot of guys, they say not coachable. It just depends on situations you got these guys in, man. And like I said, sometimes you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them, how to deal with certain dudes. Chilltown know this from playing. A coach may deal with one dude one way, another dude another way, because he know another dude can't handle it how you handle it. So, for example, we know Trae Young is probably going to be an egomaniac. But if I'm a coach, I'm going to outsmart his ass. What am I going to do as a coach? I'm going to say, look, I really want to take the ball out of his hands, so I want the time of possession with the ball in his hands cut in half. So what I'm going to do is this. Oh, yeah, Trae, man. I ain't going to tell him I'm going to set him up. Yeah, we're going to have you coming off these doubles, catching, shooting clean. You're going to be getting all these looks. Boom, boom, this is what we're going to do. And then run it and show him that this will work and allow him to be more efficient, but still be able to get off.
You about to lose your job. Trae Young is not coachable, man.
All right. And to the
hold on, Bob. How can you say something like that? We're talking about a dude who led the league, who's at the top of the league in assists. He led the country in assists as a in college. So it's obvious that he gets off the basketball. Not only does he get off the basketball, he's been a floor leader and he can be coachable. I think the problem is in Atlanta.
How do you say that shit, Tim?
What I'm trying to figure out.
It's like his fourth or fifth coach.
Okay, this is third coach. The first
and who were the coaches?
The first coach that they had him for one.
Great coach.
They had him for one season. They had him for one season and realized that they made a mistake and they fired him. Then Nate McMillan comes in and he takes them to the Eastern Conference Championship. And it went sour. And the word is that it went sour because Nate McMillan wouldn't play the people that he was supposed to play. I think that the rift was between Trae and Nate McMillan more than anything. I think that's what it was. Now, Quinn Snyder, who is a point guard himself, is teaching Trae how to be a point guard and be a better point guard. So the idea that he's not coachable, I think he is. I don't think that that's true that he's not coachable. I think that he just needs to get it, like Ticket said, I think he needs to get in the right situation where you put him in schemes which work for him. Now, when you're talking about pounding the basketball, now as a lead guard, if I'm pounding the basketball, I'm getting guys involved quickly. But if the ball's moving, people are moving. If people are moving, the defense is off balance. If the defense is off balance, you in business.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like Fluent coaches too. And there's more than one way to skin a cat, man. So if Fluent is coaching Chilltown and he's coaching me, he might have to coach us both. Or excuse me, he's coaching Mars and he's coaching me. He may have to coach us a different way. Mars is more mellow, more toned down, maybe subjected to receiving information one way, and I may be more amped, more turned up, and I may have to receive it a different way. He may have to go put his arms around Mars and say, hey, Mars, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you to do that. He may come to me and say, hey, Ticket, bust this dude ass. I need you to go right at his head. Just F him up or whatever he going to say, but it might be a different approach. So to me, I think Trae Young needs a good coach with good schemes and a different approach to him, because in this era that we live in, I like the old school way, but there's too much money with the players now. You know what I'm saying? And the ownership's not putting enough respect on the coaches, so the players feel like they don't have to respect them like they did in the past. So now as a coach, you have to figure that out. That's what happened with old boy in Toronto. Fluent can tell you. He got an old school mentality, an old school way, but them young cats ain't trying to hear that. Them young cats trying to get it how they live. When he's saying, look, it's my way or the highway, and they're saying, no, we get paid more than you. And he says, okay, cool, you right, I'm out. Let me go coach some younger dudes who I can get early to where they don't feel like they can just overthrow me. Am I wrong, Fluent?
I don't know. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good right now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, all right. I'll be back in a minute. But a couple of things with Trae. Like, I hear what you're saying about the coach and the system and all that stuff. And those things are great and they're not wrong. But it doesn't seem, not saying it's not going to happen, but it doesn't seem like he wants to listen. So no matter how good the coach is, how good the scheme is, how good his teammates are, if he just wants to go do his thing and shoot 33%, trash Trae, then you're going to lose these important games. Trash Trae. Now, to what Ticket was saying, yeah, 100%, dude, you're right. It's the players make way more money, like 10 times more money than the coaches. And so now you have to cater to them. It sucks to be a coach right now. It's tough.
And by the way, since we in here real quick, and I know we got to move on, but hey, Ron, it's a lot warmer in here today than it was a couple of days ago, isn't it?
Man,
It's a little warmer in here today.
Oh, once my camera is on.
It's definitely a warmer in here than it was a couple of days ago. A couple of days ago, it was real cold in here. You had on the goose, you had on the Scully, you had on the scarf. It ain't that cold in here today, is it?
Yeah, hey, check it out. It's summertime anyways. I was taught all that bullshit anyways. Come on, hey, sun's out, buttons out. You know what time it is.
Real quick.
Bring on the sundresses. What's up?
Can we put some respect on Jayson Tatum's name, please? Can we put some respect? Jayson Tatum.
Don't
Jayson Tatum.
You talking about the man that folds like laundry?
No,
he ain't fold last night.
But hold on, Bob. Hold on, no. And this is the reason.
No shit.
This is the reason why we gotta do these day-to-day.
I'm talking about fresh out the dryer, hot. You know what I'm saying? With a dryer sheet. You know what I'm saying? Bounty. He folds like laundry. Y'all gonna see it again. Y'all gonna see it again. Watch next series. Y'all gonna see it again. Every series you gonna see this man fold like laundry. They might win, but when y'all see this boy eyes get as big as silver dollars, and he looking at Jaylen Brown like, please carry me to the promised land, y'all gonna be like, man, Bob knew what he was talking about. That boy, I've been telling y'all for like 3 years he folds like laundry.
But Big Ox, can you at least appreciate the extra stuff that he does? So he could have very well, like when his shot's not going, okay, he's not gonna do anything else. So last night he gets on the backboard. last night. He's defending. These are the attributes of a great player. All right, JT got it going. Let me get involved with JT. I'm not JT. I'm sorry. Jaylen Brown got it going. Let me get involved in that. But I'm going to do the other stuff too. So he's offensive rebounding. That offensive putback. I mean, that tip dunk in the crunch. That was huge right there. That block shot at the end of the game on DeAndre Murray. That stuff is huge. That's the mark of a great player. Nobody delivers every single time. Especially when you're at this stage in your career, Big Ox, because we're talking about a dude who's in year 6, who's still going through the growing pains of being great.
I see that. I respect that. But you got to admit that even you 2-3 days ago was kind of like, damn.
Right. And
how many times are we going to see this?
Yes.
And so there will be games when Jayson Tatum show up. But the games that he don't are just glaring. It's like,
I mean, but what great player in this league hasn't had a bad game in the playoffs? It's normal.
It's not.
I just watched LeBron James.
It's not about that, Damos. It's not so much about not having a good game. It's about the fact that you can see the fear in this man's eyes.
Are we gonna see fear in his eyes? You think he's gonna be scared to send James Harden to Vegas and send Joel?
Whoa! Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Let's calm down.
Do it right there, Mars. Get out.
Goodbye. You already seen James Harden smacking people in Vegas now. He getting ready.
All the people. We know what time it is. You talking about somebody folding, right? We'll talk about somebody folding.
All right,
we already know it.
Hold up right quick. We're going to get to that series in a second. You know we're going to get to that series. So we only did have one game last night. For those who don't know, obviously the Boston Celtics, they closed out the series in 6 games, sent the Atlanta Hawks packing. Jaylen Brown had 32 points. JT chipped in with his 30 and 14, 7 assists. So they both had fairly good games. Trae had 30 and 10, but he shot abysmal. And now the Hawks are in the offseason, and the Celtics will be moving on to face the Sixers. We will talk about the Celtics and the Sixers. We have to talk about the Celtics and the Sixers and a couple other second-round matchups. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into these Super Chats. You know, I don't want to end the show off.
Hold on real quick, Ryan. Real quick. Let me defend myself to the chat real quick. I'm not hating on Jayson Tatum. Yeah, I might have been hating. I might have been hating on Trae Young. I don't got no love for Trae Young. But Jayson Tatum is too good for that. I'm not hating on Jayson Tatum. I think Jayson Tatum, only reason I hold him to that standard is because, bro, you are too good. You got too much skill. I've been seeing you show out too much to be scared of these moments. Like, you are just as good as any of these guys. I've seen Jayson Tatum, that was his second year, rookie year, go at Brown like I'm supposed to be here. Now, the fact, if he wouldn't have dunked on Brown like that, they probably would have won. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Jayson Tatum go crazy. So when I see you look scared of Jimmy Butler, when I see your eyes get big as silver dollars, against Milwaukee at certain times, and you looking at Jaylen Brown, I just can't overlook that. You're too good for that, Jason. You're too good for that. Now Trae Young, I'm hating. Whatever, fuck it, I'm hating. But Jayson Tatum, no, that's not no hate, bro. That's just like step it up, bro.
Got you. All right, let's go ahead and do these Super Chats. Darren Foss said, please stop pretending the Hawks are bad because they lost to a better team. Give Boston credit for closing them out. Atlanta talent over Brooklyn and Miami.
Just so you know,
that's what I'm saying. I totally agree with that. Like I said this, and I said it one more time. If Quinn Snyder had more time during the season, we would have saw a better Hawks team against the Celtics. We got to remember, man, he's only had limited time with his team. As a new coach, you're going in, you don't even know, you might not even like all the personnel you got. So you have to adjust your coaching style to what you have right then. Now, in the off season, like I said, he'll be able to make some adjustments and then come back and do more of a style he wants to do, play the guys he want to play the minutes. It's hard just taking over a job that late into the season. You know what I'm saying? For what he did a damn good job. He got them in the play-in. They won to get in the playoffs when they was easily could have been out. And they called Boston, but I mean they took them to the They took Boston. They did a lot more. Everybody thought he was gonna get swept. So I thought he. I think with a full training camp, he comes back, and we'll see. Listen, I think that we should wait and see what happens this season. If it's going wrong, trade deadline, okay, maybe you think about moving Trae. But I would give it one more time to a training camp with this guy to see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anyone's acting like the Hawks are bad. It's just, I mean, the rumors and everything, and the reports are out there that they want to trade Trae Young. They lost in the first round.
No. Hey, Dom, I totally agree with you. But I'm gonna tell you something about pro basketball. Sometimes the organizations and teams will do stuff to F with you. Now, what I'm saying is this: you may have pissed them off, right? So, Chilltown may understand what I'm saying. I may like you, but I don't like how you move. So I'ma scare your ass. I'ma leak out that we looking to move you. So now, and I'ma leak out that we monitoring your behavior on and off the court. So now you paranoid. You like, damn, these motherfuckers got people following me and shit. So now you're more of a standard where I got to get my stuff together, because now what they've done is they put my reputation on trial in front of the league. So that doesn't just hurt you with the Hawks, that hurts you with the way other teams look at you too, because when they put this type of stuff out there about you, other teams looking at that too, like, well, shit, I don't want that guy. They trying to get rid of him. Why I want him for it if he coming with all those problems? So I think they did it as a scare tactic to get his mind right and to let him know you're expendable. Now, like I said, they'll see what he looks like coming into the next season. Now, if they get a trade they can't refuse, I think they take it. But I think that right now their plan is, let's go in the next season. Let's see what we can do with him with a full training camp with Quinn. And let's see how this team looks midway through the season next year. And if we're clicking, like I said, bro, this team is still a young team. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. And you got to remember this. The same team we're praising right now, when you guys praise the Celtics, remember, they went through their pains too. They saw success early and went to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Tatum and Brown ain't done shit as far as winning. They just now got to the NBA Finals last year after all those years. That was 6 years together. I don't think Trae Young's had that many years with that team, and he has been to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think we should give him one more year to see what happens with this new coach. And if it doesn't work, then it's him.
Fair.
All right, y'all, moving along. RH3LA said, hey, OG, I seen your recent TikTok about Giannis. It shows you that, quote unquote, rah-rah stuff ain't a killer mentality. Killer mentality can be silent like Bron.
Okay, first of all, Jimmy Butler is not silent. Jimmy Butler is rah-rah too. So let's not make it sound like Jimmy Butler is, hey guys, how you doing? No, Jimmy Butler will bite you on your ass. So he will make sure that you know who he is right from the beginning. Jimmy Butler is not for the games, and Jimmy Butler is not a silent killer. No, he isn't. I watched Jimmy Butler tell as far as I know, the players in the NBA who just said Jrue Holiday is the best defender in the game. I watched Jimmy Butler say, I own you. I watched him tell him that. I got 38 on you. So Jimmy Butler is a rah-rah guy too.
And he had a bad he was another guy. He had a bad rep. People forget this. What you call says uncoachable. Jimmy Butler was labeled as uncoachable before he went over there to the Miami. Before he went over there to Miami, they was trying to destroy his career. They said he was uncoachable. He was a jackass. That's why they didn't want to keep him. That's why they kept Tobias Harris instead of him in Philly, because they could deal with Tobias. So think about this now. They probably regret not keeping that. What the hell?
Because it ain't cold in here today, huh? It ain't cold in here today. It's a little warmer in here today, Tone, than it was yesterday. So I'm just a little warmer.
You know. Hey, gosh, give me a drink, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm. A little warmer in here today than it was yesterday. Yes, sir.
Hey, yo,
come on, what up, brother?
Did you simulate that series on 2K? How many games did you have the Hawks losing in?
Do up some buttons.
Can you hear us? We can't hear you, L. L.
He's still getting it together.
All right. I don't know. I had the Hawks losing. I don't remember what I had them at. Ain't no way they was going to win. But, I mean, they made a good effort. They fought back. Quinn Snyder's going to do a good job with that team going forward into the future. But I think they need to make some changes. There's some chemistry issues probably in that locker room. They need to weed out some bad characters, maybe get some other guys in. Keep Trae Young. I know a lot of people talk about trading him, move him on, but I think their best bet is to keep the star, see what they can do, build around that perimeter. Keep Capella, but maybe move John Collins. Got to get some other guys in there. But I like what they're doing over there.
FYF, hold on for a second. When you say stuff like bad characters, you're being politically correct. Sound like you got some people on your mind. Yeah, put it out there. Who don't you think needs to be in that locker room?
Well, I mean, the guy that I just said. I mean, the guy with like John Collins. I mean, not that he's a bad player. Obviously, defensively he was bad, but there's just been a lot of things from what I'm hearing that just in the locker room, him publicly complaining about his contractual situation and wanting to get traded and the team wanting to trade him. I just think it's been a bad fit, and they've only held on to him because they haven't found a good trade partner. And so whenever it's kind of toxic like that, you have a player where the team has publicly wanted to trade him, he's publicly said things, it's just been a bad fit. So you just want to get guys in there where everybody's bought in. Everybody's, that's it. But John Collins is probably the main guy that just kind of seems like the odd man out. He did a good job trying to fit back in when Quinn Snyder got there, but probably too late.
No doubt, fellas. We're going to keep running through these super chats. Avion said, Ticket shows us every show why he's the highest paid for KT. Ja about to expose the Lakers tonight.
We better send that thug back home, man. We send that thug back home.
That's another team y'all didn't say. I think it's a possibility Trae Young can get moved to the Lakers if it doesn't work out. Because if they don't go Kyrie Irving route, remember, he's a clutch client, and it's already been reported that is a destination that they could move. They could try to move him to. And listen, I think this, right? I'm saying the signing trade. I'm saying the signing trade for D'Lo. Well, I'm just telling you what's being reported, and we got to remember he is a clutch client. So it's not like it hasn't been reported. It has been thrown out there that he could potentially ask to be moved to the Lakers after this season's over. That has already been. You can Google that. And then, like I said, he's a clutch client.
I'm personally going to the crypto arena and rioting if I see we did a signing trade.
Well, listen, Damo, I understand what you're saying, but think about this. Kyrie Irving may stay in Dallas. Now he's going to re-sign in Dallas. No, listen what I'm saying. He's going to re-sign in Dallas, but let's just say the Lakers do lose tonight, and let's say the Lakers lose this series. They're not keeping D'Lo. They're going to sign and trade D'Lo. Now, if they sign and trade D'Lo, is Trae Young one of those guys that the Lakers would be willing to take in return? And here's the reason why I'm going to say that it's possible. Because LeBron likes guys like Trae Young. He likes those scoring point guards that can put up a lot of numbers that can go get their own. Kyrie Irving. He tried to do it with Isaiah Thomas. And he's had other guys that he's brought in at that position, the small guard position. Derrick Rose, he tried to do it one time, that can score the basketball at high rate. LeBron likes those guards like that, contrary to what you may think.
Lakers aren't losing.
But y'all hate Darvin Ham. What is Darvin Ham going to do with Trae Young?
Well, Darvin Ham he shouldn't be there next year, so I don't know what he's about to do.
1 year?
He's done.
Hold on, Darvin Ham has done a great job.
1 year?
About what Darvin Ham
he's done a great job. I agree with Lamont. He's done a great job.
And looking like a fool.
First year coach.
Yes, I do. I want a
first-year coach in a tough situation with a roster that was already broken. And the job that he did is recovering that team, because that team really could have mentally fell apart early on. And he didn't allow them to fall apart. And after the trade, they still could have fell apart.
That's
because
true.
You had a whole bunch of new pieces. He got everybody to play together, and they about to take out the number 2 seed. And you talking about he needs to be fired?
Hey, don't finish, Lamont. Lamont, don't stop. Hey, Lamont, don't stop right there.
Hold on.
Lamont,
this is how critical.
Lamont, don't.
What do y'all expect, coach? Y'all act like coaches got a magic
Lamont, don't stop right there, Lamont. Lamont, keep cooking him, Lamont. Keep cooking him. Don't stop.
Can I go?
Hold on. What's the situation where you're both wrong?
Hold on. Let's ask him. What would you do then? If you
go ahead, Damo.
Me easily. I'm firing Rob Pelinka and
No.
Rob Pelinka too?
No. I'm asking you, if you was Darvin Ham, what would you have done differently?
If I'm Darvin Ham, I'm not taking AD out the game when we come back and we're down 1.
That's not realistic.
I'm not
doing
realistic. What do you mean it's not realistic? That is real. Who's not going to take AD out the game when we're making a comeback and he's our only protector?
Have you ever played a basketball game?
Yes, I have played a basketball game.
I
play AAU my
anybody
whole
that
life.
scores.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. Hey, Dom. But Dom, let me say this. Dom, I'm gonna say this to you. I agree with what Lamont is saying. I'm gonna tell you why I agree with what Lamont is saying. Because we got to look at it like this, and I think Fluent will agree with me on this.
No.
And Fluent said this. Fluent said this, so he can't. Fluent. I want everybody to record this shit right now. Hold on, Fluent. I'm gonna say what you said. Fluent said before the trade deadline. Hold on. Fluent said before the trade deadline. Fluent said before the trade deadline. Fluent said that he said that the roster was flawed. He was one of those people that was saying that they didn't have enough shooting. The roster was flawed. Okay, so if the roster's flawed, how is that Darvin Ham's fault? But let me say this: what Darvin Ham was doing, what showed you the sign of a good coach. The guys were not quitting on him. A lot of those games were close. They just lost those games down the stretch because their stars didn't close. Now, think about this. What did he do once he got a trade in the new roster? He had the best record in the league since he got the trade with the new roster. Those are facts. So he got you in the playoffs.
Oh, thank you. That's a perfect point for me to call timeout.
Go
This is why I said you're both wrong. Because with Darvin Ham at the beginning of the season, he had a very, very flawed roster. He had Russell Westbrook that they didn't know what to do with, a bunch of new guys. It was a flawed roster. So you can't judge him on what he did on the first half, even though they were losing and they sucked. We all said, Chill stood up here and said, this is the worst team in the NBA. Okay, well, part of that is coaching. So we agreed that was partially roster, partially coaching. Then at the trade deadline, they make a bunch of moves. You know what else happens? AD comes back healthy. So they start winning, not necessarily because Darvin Ham all of a sudden is a great coach. They start winning because, well, they made a bunch of trades. Their roster looks better. It's better constructed. And AD starts playing. And
no, Tone, you can't have it both ways.
Let me finish. And he's healthy. And he's healthy. So what did they do in the second half of the season? Well, hey, they were the number one defense in the league. So they did a lot of things right. A lot of that has to do with the new personnel and AD being healthy.
Right. So having a number one defense had nothing to do with coaching?
No, I said it does have to do with coaching.
Keep going, Tony. Keep going, Tony.
And AD being healthy. That's what I'm saying. You're both wrong, is because we haven't actually seen him. We haven't seen him actually have a team in an offseason, put in a system, run. Like, we haven't seen him.
So instead, so what you want to do, instead of giving him that opportunity, you want to fire him. That's what you want to do. Fire him.
No.
I'm not saying
can I explain why I want to?
Please.
Can I explain why I want to?
Go ahead, Jamo.
Because it's my take. I can explain why I want to. One,
and Tone, take off that Papa Bear shirt while you saying that, man. Take that Papa Bear shirt. Y'all see this man's shirt? This man's shirt is Papa Bear.
His lineup management is horrible. When he decides to make substitutions and pull our star. Okay, maybe I gotta speak in layman's terms.
The lineups he chooses and everything. Tell us what lineup management is.
That's how this was gonna go. All right.
I just want to know.
Go ahead, Damo.
The lineups he decides to put out at certain times or integral parts of the game have been horrible all year. Now, the first half of the season, it was Rob Pelinka's fault for putting together a crappy roster. That's why, and for the last 2.5 years, Rob Pelinka has put out a bunch of subpar rosters for the last two coaches to coach. Darvin Ham was not put in the best position to start the season. Frank Vogel was not put in the best position after he won a championship to compete as coaches. Now, why I'm saying fire Darvin Ham is because I've seen all year, whether he had a good roster or a bad roster, his rotations are buns. And his decision to pull certain players when it have been buns. Last game, again, it's a closeout elimination game. Memphis cannot score. It's a section where Memphis cannot score on us because Anthony Davis is on the court going crazy on defense. He has easily been our best defensive player. We cut the game to a 1-point game. Timeout. He takes out Anthony Davis, puts in Rui at the center or power forward, and guess what happens? We are down 90-76 when it was just 74-75. That is stuff, whether you want to give him the best roster in the NBA.
What was the time and score?
Hold on, can I ask a question?
Around 4 minutes in the third quarter.
Okay.
What
I'm saying, so when we talk about substitutions, y'all act like these players are running on unlimited fuel. You have to manage these minutes because you want to trust your guys, especially a guy like Rui, who's been playing great throughout this playoffs. You want to hope that when you put these guys in, they can hold the fort down. So when those main priority minutes come in the fourth quarter, you can put your top dogs in like AD, and they running at optimal level, and they not gassed because they used up all their energy trying to push some third quarter comeback. It don't mean nothing now because they done got ran down in the fourth quarter because they all fatigued. All these imaginary substitution BS stuff y'all be talking, it's because y'all don't understand the struggles that coaches have to go through when they have to look down the bench, they have to manage minutes, they have to also manage egos, they have to also manage players that might be dealing with injuries, and they have to consider all this running the game, and they have to talk about ATOs, coaching, and all this stuff. They have to do all this stuff. And on a first-year coach, a guy that's potentially going to be eliminating the number 2 seed We talking about fire this guy, man. This is why the NBA is
FYF.
the NBA is so
FYF. Don't leave out looking down the bench and having to put in a guy who isn't really that productive. But my star is gas, and I got to get him off the floor, and I might have to go with this guy.
And it's not about. Hold on.
Can I get more examples?
I talk about 2K too much. Y'all try to do it in real life.
But no one is saying leave AD in for 48 minutes. Hold on, because this is killing me in the chat, and with this perception that people have, like I'm just sitting here saying leave AD in for 48 minutes. That's not what I'm saying. But when you have to
okay, so what do you do in the fourth quarter after you gas him in the third?
Forget that. I want to ask you an actual question.
Ask me a question.
Because, like I said, I think Darvin Ham is just incomplete. So I need to see him more to say whether he's good or trash. To my question, though, is you use that same example about the putting in Rui in at the 5 at the end of the game. So throughout the season, though, like, is that a consistent thing? Like, do you have other examples?
He didn't just do that, Tone. That wasn't the first time he did that. He's done that during the season, and it's worked, which was why he did it in the playoffs. He didn't just do this. You know what's a good idea? I'm gonna put James at the 5 right now in the playoffs. No, he's been going on throughout the course of the season, and it worked. Which would explain why he did it in the playoffs. You don't get to the playoffs. You don't get to the playoffs. I'm gonna let you finish, yo. But you don't get to the playoffs and then decide to experiment. No, we're not doing that. We already got everything that we already done.
Answer my question.
Damo said yesterday, and this is what killed me about what you said yesterday, Damo, because I heard you. You said put Mo Bamba in, bro. I'm gonna say this right now, bro. That is a joke. Listen, no. You're not hearing me. Hold on. First of all, I want you to tell you 2 things, dog. I'm gonna tell you 2 things. I'm gonna tell you 2 reasons why that was a joke. First of all, it's a joke. Hold on. First of all,
5 instead of Rui at the 5.
Thank you.
No. But hold on. But here's why it's a joke. Here's why. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is, when I said why is Mo Bamba not playing, why is he not out there versus someone like Wyndon Gabriel or Rui at the 5? But even if we're hold on.
Keep going.
If the option is Rui at the 5 or Wyndon Gabriel, I personally would say put Wyndon Gabriel in versus Rui at the 5.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why he put him in. I'm gonna tell you why he put Rui in. I'm gonna tell you why he put Rui in at 5. Because he wants to stretch out the defense of the other team. So he wants to hold on. You're not hearing me though. No, Mo Bamba's not like that. But listen, if Mo Bamba was like that, he would not. Hold on. Let me say this to you. If Mo Bamba was like that, he wouldn't be riding the bench on Orlando Magic squad. He'd be getting burned if he was like that. That's first of all. Secondly, let's talk about the situation of what you said about Roy Hachimura. Again, he put Roy Hachimura in because Roy Hachimura's had the hot hand in this series, and he's thinking, look, I can put this guy and steal some minutes with him at 5 because they don't really have all their 5s either. They don't. So now, if I'm using him to stretch the floor, that opens up the court and allows us to be able to get better opportunities at the basket. Why? Because the big man now he has to go out and defend Roy because Roy has made them honest this entire series with shooting the basketball from the perimeter. So throwing out Mo Bamba. Hold on. Let me say this. I'm gonna finish. Okay. You throwing out Mo Bamba after Mo Bamba ain't played in damn near 2 months. He only played like 3 games. He only played 3 games since he's been a Laker. He's only played 3 games since he's been a Laker. I'm not putting his ass out. I'm not putting Tristan Kardashian out. Them dudes is dudes where if I got to, like Elder say, if I got to hit the fire extinguisher, if everything's hurt, then I'm coming with them. Outside of that, man, you ain't finna see them dudes in no playoffs like that, man. They doing the Deion Waiters role. They on the bench.
No one is saying don't play Rui. Just don't play Rui at the center is what I'm saying. Even when they have a 7-footer in the game, they're still putting Rui at the 5. And I understand it's to stretch the floor. My thing is Mo Bamba can still stretch the floor. Mo Bamba can shoot. He's not a bad shooter. I get it. He's not a world beater. I'm not saying Buddy is a damn X factor. What I'm saying is if AD needs rest, you can put Mo Bamba in for 5 to 8, maybe 10 minutes just to give him rest. That is better than having Rui at the 5 and getting us burnt by 15 points in 2 minutes. Why is
that go wrong in 5 minutes in a basketball game if you leave the wrong player out there?
I seen it. We just lost the game because we left the wrong player out there. What I'm saying, but
you win and lose games.
You lost the game because LeBron James played horrible.
Series,
that's fine.
Right. Like he's done more right than wrong.
Down 1, and literally the game escaped us when we made one decision. You can literally go to the game, point at one decision that was made, and the game literally shifted. The momentum shifted completely. They went on a crazy run, and the game never was in our favor again. We never had a chance after that one decision.
Hey, Damo, I see I got some help in here today with Lamont, so now I'm coming back for y'all ass today because y'all jumped me yesterday, sucker. But let me say this to you, right? So, and you too, Flo, you was in here too. Hey, Flo, you over here looking like Pablo when you came in the video. Stop playing, boy. But anyway, let me get back to you, Dom. Dom, this is the problem I have with what you said, though. This is why what you said was irrational. You said fire Rob Pelinka too. Bro, I'm going to say this to you once and for all. But first of all, Rob Pelinka helped put together the roster with Magic that won the first championship. That's first and foremost. It's not Rob. Hold on, sir. Let me finish. It's not Rob Pelinka's fault that the Lakers had to put most of those guys on 1 and 2 year deals because of how they were setting things up. So now you can't keep guys. You lose key elements, or guys are getting paydays after they won a championship and going to other places. So now what happened? What happened was you ended up moving pieces that helped you win a championship to do what? Eventually go get Russell Westbrook. Why? Because LeBron James and AD pushed to get him. That wrecked the team. That is not Rob Pelinka's fault. Then you had to go sign extra minimal dues. There was no money left. So once you got Russ, once you got LeBron, once you got AD on your books, what the hell else you going to do with the roster? What are you going to do? So now guess what? I got to go to Clutch and get all your minimum players. I got to go get your Juan Toscanos and all these dudes to fill out the roster, right? So now what happens? Everybody panics because they had to do a move that LeBron didn't want to do, thinking it was going to pay off because they thought Russ was going to be able to win them games during the regular season that they didn't play, but it didn't work. It backfired. So now you got to double back. And this is why Rob Pelinka should not be fired, because he doubled back and he didn't do what LeBron wanted him to do, which was mortgage everything else and go get Kyrie. He said, nah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to overpay for that. I'm going to go get you this, and this, and got you all the perfect pieces that turn the team around. LeBron says he loves the team. He likes these guys. So now after you lost, you off the ship, throw them out of here. And like I said, the players respect Darvin Ham. So if the players in the locker room respect Darvin Ham, if they're going to fight hard and play hard for him most every night, which they have done since he's been there all season, why am I just going to throw him out and throw Rob Pelinka out when they actually have a solid team? They actually have one of the better teams in the NBA if you look at it from top to bottom. You got Roy Hachimura, who was damn near leading the team in scoring in the series for the first 4 games. That's insane.
All right, fellas, we're going to continue to keep it pushing. Back to these super chats. Nuance said, did y'all see the interview with Paul George saying Lonzo is better than LaMelo? How we feel about this?
He said he's more talented.
Yeah, he said talented.
Do we agree that Lonzo's more talented than LaMelo?
When you listen to his explanation, I mean,
when healthy,
it makes sense.
I would rather
I agree that Paul's get too much press for no reason.
I think Lonzo is the better player when he's healthy at this point. But
I would much rather have Lonzo than
is he ever going to play again?
I doubt
it. Lonzo fits better in more situations, more teams, and fits better with more players, and is a more winning basketball player than LaMelo. I think LaMelo is more offensively gifted, and defensively, I think Lonzo way better. Clears him.
Not even close.
It sucks, man. I thought this dude was going to be I thought he was going to be the real deal. It does, man. Because I dug Lonzo coming.
Every time it seemed he was figuring it out, he just got deep injury. Now this injury, I mean, I don't think he's going to play again.
Yeah, this is a death sentence. The injury he got is a death sentence. Ain't really no NBA players come back from it.
To answer your question, Cal
that's an egregious poll, by the way, Ron. That's an egregious poll.
That's the 2 AAU teams I played on my whole life.
Hey, y'all go vote on the poll. Who's more talented?
It's a terrible poll.
Yo, Diego Andre said Trae for Dame. Portland rebuild?
Hell no.
What does Dame get from? What does Dame get from? What does Dame get from going to Atlanta?
Atlanta's got a good roster. You guys are overlooking it. They got shooting. They got big men who rebound, play around the basket, athletic. They also have another guy who's dynamic at the guard spot. Atlanta has a really good roster. They just haven't been coached well. I agree with Lamont on that too. Huh?
Them niggas suck, bro.
I like Nate. No, they don't. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals. How they suck? They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals. How many teams in the East right now have been to the Eastern Conference Finals the last 3 years?
I'm saying they did. You right. They did beat the Knicks and then Ben Simmons.
Well, guess what, Bob? Guess what, Bob? Hold on. Guess what, Bob? Well, Bob, I'm about to cook your big ass right now. Then, if they suck, the goddamn Sacramento Kings is fucking trash because y'all getting ready to get your ass sent home. Y'all won all them games. Y'all won all them games. Y'all get ready to go home. Y'all get ready to go home, nigga.
If they go home, them niggas suck too. Like,
oh well, hey, what
ain't nobody exempt from this shit. If you suck, you suck. If the
okay, so Bob, this is what I'm gonna need you to. This is what I'm gonna need you to do. Then I'm gonna need you to take that. I'm gonna need you to take that. I'm gonna need you to take that flashlight. I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to take that. I'm gonna need you to.
Kings losing the first round. They fucking suck, just like the Hawks, bro. I'm
gonna need you to take that flashlight. Hey Bob, I'm gonna need you to take that flashlight because it's not a thing. Turn that son of a bitch sideways and stick it straight up your candy ass. That's what I want you to do.
I'm not one of these cats, Ticket. I'm not one of these cats, bro. If my team loses, they suck, bro.
But you said you set up and told Fluent every day. You told Fluent y'all was going to the finals, all this shit. Now they suck, man.
Listen, they knew they lost when they named their arena after the Warriors. Come on now. It was over before it started.
In 7. But if they don't, then they suck.
Ooh.
BD Production said panel should do a live in-person debate. 1 million views instantly. Hey, I got a crystal ball. You never know what's gonna happen this summer. You never. Hey, that's why I was so interested to just go to Cancun with Trae and them. Get on from there because I see some good things happening this summer. Hey, Damo, I'm gonna see you soon. Mars, I might see you soon.
Highly doubt it.
Highly doubt it. Okay. Hey, you never know what could happen. Speaking of Mars, better playoff riser, start bench cut. DeMar DeRozan, Julius Randle, or Cat.
Using the word riser for any of them is just blasphemous. Better playoff performer between all of them, DeRozan, Cat, Randle, in that order.
Does anybody disagree?
Man, that's like voting.
Do you guys want to stay off of this?
It's just bad options all around.
I'll take Julius.
No, you won't.
There's no way. There's no way.
No way.
I would bench Julius.
I'll take Julius, but I'm taking Julius.
Playoff Julius? No way.
No, you're lying.
Even if you think Randall's better than both of them,
Hey, Bob, what is Julius Randle showing you in the playoffs, Bob? And you go, yo, that's my guy.
Nothing. But you compare him to DeMar DeRozan and Cat.
Okay, so DeMar DeRozan, for example, I watched DeMar DeRozan outplay Bradley Beal in the playoffs. I watched DeMar DeRozan outplay a couple of guys in the playoffs. When he sees LeBron James, it's like seeing the boogeyman. It's like straight seeing the boogeyman. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. He got thrown out of a playoff game in the third quarter. Elite players don't get thrown out of playoff games without fighting. He wanted nothing to do with James. Zero. Other than that, he doesn't suck in the playoffs. He's not completely terrible. He's not as bad as Mars. He's not as bad as Mars.
I don't think he's ever had I don't know if he's ever had a good series.
No.
That's
not true.
I don't know if he's ever had a good series.
If
you can enlighten me on the series, I'm forgetting. But I don't
okay, how about in 2015 against Washington? He averaged 28 a game against Bradley Beal and outplayed him in that series, and they beat Washington.
Outplaying 2018 Bradley Beal, man.
What do you mean, man?
What do you mean, man?
We're talking about a Bradley Beal who was in the conversation with John Wall as the best backcourt in the league, and he outplayed him. That's a fact, Mars.
John Wall was hurt that point.
Who was hurt?
John Wall. 2018 was hurt.
It
was 2015, and even during that time. No, we still talking about during that time. We still talking about during that time. They were one of the best backcourts in the game, and he outplayed Bradley Beal. Clearly outplayed him with Kyle Lowry, who by the way with Kyle Lowry, who by the way had quote the worst shooting performance of a backcourt player in NBA history. That happened.
Kyle Lowry wasn't good in the playoffs either. If he was in the options, he would have been ahead of like Randle, but below everyone else.
I think the
but I don't recall people are saying the Wizards swept Toronto in 2015, and I'm inclined to believe them because DeMar DeRozan was on the team. So like
that was 15. He's talking about 14.
Was it 14 or 15?
2014. I know they played Brooklyn though. I know the Raptors played Brooklyn in 2014.
Because I know
I think you're talking about 2018, and I know John Wall was hurt.
I clearly remember him outplaying Bradley Beal. I remember that.
I think you're talking about 2018, and I know John Wall was injured.
What does that have to do with DeRozan still having a good playoff series?
I still don't believe he played well.
What?
Based on what?
My eyes.
Based on the fact that he just doesn't like DeMar DeRozan. That's all this is. I'm just not a DeMar DeRozan guy. Just like Big Ox is not a Big Ox is not a Trae Young guy. If Trae Young went 35 and 12 in the series on 55, 42, 92, Ox is still out on Trae Young.
If DeMar DeRozan did that, I wouldn't say he played badly.
But wait, Morris. DeMar DeRozan is the star player for the Toronto Raptors. He's the star player.
Yes, he is. That was unfortunate.
He lets another man come to Toronto and change the name of the city. I can't overlook that. I can't overlook that.
Like I said, man, it was like seeing the boogeyman. That's what it was like with him. It was for real, like seeing the boogeyman. He didn't want nothing to do with him. Nothing.
In his defense, it is LeBron.
When he saw LeBron, he did what his daughter did.
Okay, so let me. I've now had to look up this series statistically because I don't recall the whole depths of this series. So I'm looking at this series statistically. Yeah, DeMar DeRozan was a nice 26.7 points. That was nice. So shout out to him for that. Negative free efficiency. Okay, interesting. So
which he's not a long ball shooter. We all know that.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good DeMar DeRozan series, by the way. Negative free efficiency. Shot 53% at the rim. DeMar DeRozan. Well played, DeMar. Wow. 41% from mid range. 41% from mid range. That's great.
Then you want to say you're the stats guy.
And no, I'm looking it up.
This is in 2018. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2018, and his net rating was plus 1.2. Like, if that's a good DeMar DeRozan series, the standard isn't high. I still put him number one because it's Cat and Randle. But like, that's a good DeMar DeRozan series. I mean, like,
that's all I'm saying. He's over Cat and Randle. That was my only.
I had him over Cat and Randle too. I just said I don't think he ever had a good player.
Julius.
You don't believe that.
You're lying. That's
he
what
does
I.
it. You don't. He does it. He does not.
Hey, the craziest thing about this whole thing is nobody's talked about Cat.
Because he's a bum.
You guys,
what did they talk about?
Exactly.
This is what I want to say. I'll take both of them over Cat, and here's why.
No, you won't.
No, I'm gonna tell you why, Mars. I'm gonna tell you why.
I'm all ears to hear this.
I'm taking my daughter
because I'm expecting Cat to go for 30 and 10 every night. All right, I even do a little better. At least 24 and 10.
In the playoffs?
In the playoffs, I'm expecting talent-wise. I'm looking at you as our best player, and I'm like, Cat, we need you to carry us to the promised land. And when he gives me 14 and 8 and fouls out, I'm gonna be ready to come to the locker room and tell Cat, yo, we taking it to the back. It's gonna be me and you, and I'm finna put these paws on you. Because why are you out here playing soft and we need you?
Cat soft that's gonna beat
Wait,
you.
So you're taking Randle over Cat because Cat is meant to be good.
Yes.
So you're saying Randle is Randle you expect to be trash. So you're going to pick him over Cat.
He's going to give me what I expect of him.
That's fine. If you expect Randle to be trash, I can get that because I do too.
So I just want to be clear. I want to be clear. So Randle, I know you're going to suck in the playoffs and give me half of your production of the regular season.
So I'll take you over Cat.
At least Randle might exceed my expectations.
He's saying Randle can't disappoint him. That's what
and Cat's going to be better because he's going to suck, and I'm going to go in the locker room and I'm going to challenge him to a fight, and that's going to make him play better. I'm going to be ready.
Randle won't disappoint him with his badness because he expects it. Cat will disappoint him.
Hey, check it out. Randle in the second round of the playoffs. Where's Cat?
Damn.
All right, then.
DeMar DeRozan didn't even make the playoffs. Yeah, you're cooked, Ron. You're cooked. There we go. You're cooked.
DeMar DeRozan to be deep into the playoffs.
We're not talking about all the way back there. We're talking about right now. We're talking about all right now. DeMar DeRozan didn't make it. He didn't make it. He's not that guy.
Hey, Cat.
He won't be in them.
Is Tiki gonna beat you up?
No, hell no.
Hey, Bob said about to parade inside Memphis. Bob exposed in 6.
About to be a parade inside my city.
We are gritty in Memphis, boy. What? Send them boys home.
You don't have to read that, bro. Kings is 7.
Mr. Jiku to you said, hey, Mars, Low, and now Dumbo. Why y'all be taking turns whipping on Aries Spears like that? That's crazy.
That's funny. That is funny.
Kind of funny, Dumbo.
That is kind of funny.
Rod, just so you know, I sent Ron a picture, Dumbo, and he refused to show it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
That's you're
Wait,
wrong.
a picture of who?
A picture of who? I'll show you. It was. It's not. It's not mine. Did I say it? Yeah. It's not mine. It's still funny. It's wrong, but it's funny.
I'm used to it at this point. It's been going on for years.
Yeah.
I'm used to it.
Oh, has it really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've known Los since like 2017. Me and Lo go back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Y'all was at King of Diamonds together.
Math. They were at math skip-ball camp.
That's right.
I don't know anybody. I'm thinking about somebody that got a similar style to Muggsy Bogues today.
TJ McConnell.
A bigger version, maybe. Yeah.
Well, no one's 5'3". I don't know when we're
Right. A bigger
TJ
version.
McConnell's a second guy.
I don't know if he's as efficient as Muggsy as a distributor, though.
I'm just thinking defense.
Because Muggsy took care of the basketball. If Muggsy did anything, Muggsy can pass the ball, and he took care of the basketball. He did not turn the ball over a lot.
You're not going to get closer than TJ McConnell. I promise you're not. TJ McConnell's the closest you're going to get.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you might be on to something.
CJ McCollum?
Huh?
No, TJ McConnell. TJ
McConnell on Indiana.
Didn't we draft him
in Indiana?
Sorry, the accent threw me off, Mars. I didn't understand what you're saying.
I apologize.
Work on that American accent, buddy.
Stop trying.
English, Mars.
They can't understand my Canadian, so imagine how they feel about you.
Donovan Samuels, once again with the super chat, said, speaking of Nate McMillan, where's the potential landing spot for him?
Toronto.
Assistant.
No.
Assistant somewhere.
Did
You don't want him up there, Tone?
No. It's not that I don't want him. We're hiring Becky Hammond.
I heard that she's getting an interview. Yeah, I heard that she's getting an interview. Yeah, I heard she's getting an interview. Yeah.
Once the Lakers fire Darvin Ham, the Lakers would be a great spot. I would take him in LA. That'd be great.
He's not getting fired, bro. He's not.
I'm manifesting, bro. I'm manifesting it.
They're going to win an NBA championship. How is he getting fired?
Damo, what you're doing is you just perpetuating the perils of the front office. Okay, so Ham's going to be out. Frank Vogel was out after 2 seasons. Luke Walton didn't even last a whole season. What are you guys doing in Los Angeles?
And again, I said fire Rob Pelinka because I blame him too. I equally blame him.
That's not all you want. We want to replace Jeannie Buss too, don't you?
No, I love Jeannie.
Chill out.
I love him.
Damn lie.
I've never been happier since she took the damn reins from Cupcheck.
He was running in the ground. He was running in the ground. Her brother was going to run
Not as good as
the team in the ground.
I can't handle an owner who has less money than a player. I can't wrap my head around it. I can't.
Well, this ain't my only source of income. I do other things besides play basketball. I got another job besides this one.
You can't have an owner's net worth be $500 million and your top player net worth be $1 billion. You can't.
I do other stuff. I do other stuff besides play basketball. That's where we get this whole thing confused. I do other stuff besides play basketball. I got other things going on. So
name me another owner with less net worth than their top player in any sport.
In any sport?
In any sport in the world.
James is the only one.
Thank you.
How many active professional athletes are making as much as LeBron James right now, or is worth as much as LeBron James?
Players making more.
Cristiano Ronaldo plays for a team owned by a Saudi prince. That's kind of
there you see.
And Lionel Messi plays for a team that's owned by basically a whole country.
So if that's true, then basically what you're saying is that you limit you limit. Why don't you like it, Tone? Because essentially what you're saying is that I can't do what I need to do to make sure that I'm straight. So this is my only source of income. So if I make more money than you as the boss, this ain't my only job. I do other stuff besides this.
It shouldn't be her only job either.
Then that's a her problem. That's not a me problem.
I'm saying my problem is her, not him. You're running to LeBron.
I don't understand what that's to do with
LeBron. I'm knocking Buss.
It's plenty of rich owners with crappy franchises.
It doesn't matter, Mars. You're right. I just don't like it. I don't like it.
Let's move on. Super chat.
Could you please leave Jeannie alone?
Listen. I wanted to run into your arms.
Me too.
Big Ox, you know she older than me, right?
I don't care.
Okay. That's a lot older than me. Not just older than me, she a lot older than me.
Jeannie too young for me.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever watch Friday? Okay. The older the berry, the sweeter the juice.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Yes.
Anyway, as you were saying, Ron. Anyway, go ahead, Ron.
It's Mr. GQ to you said, Ron. Let's get into these super chats. Reads one. panel chats for another 30 to 45 minutes.
Oh,
Yo, Floyd, can you play my sound? Can you play my sound for the panel?
And you shut the fuck up.
Damn. All right, so King Shada said, "Happy 7th birthday to the lad. More life, brother." Mars,
Hey,
Mars, when did you turn 7?
Happy
I thought you
birthday,
was 12.
I don't know why you thought I was 12. That's ridiculous. I'm a long way.
Y'all better hit him up one more time.
I thought you just turned 12, Mars.
I'm a long way from being a preteen.
You just said that you were right. You were coming up on your teenage years. You told me that.
I was born the day KD joined Golden State. Well, a few months before. That's when I was born.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Exactly. For a few, I was like 3 months old, and then KD joined Golden State. I was like, okay, Golden State, here we go.
That's fair.
Mad Max Sports Talk said Trae was not the reason Nate got fired. Nate wouldn't play the guys the front office wanted him to.
Like who?
No, it should have been Cam Reddish. But
that's something Nick Nurse.
Kevin Knox.
Oh God, no.
Nick Nurse did the same thing. So don't hire him in Atlanta or anywhere.
AJ Griffin apparently.
Who I like, by the way, but
So do I.
I like AJ Griffin.
He's not playing much either during this playoffs.
You always want to play the young guys.
He is a rook, though, right?
Always
right.
play the young guys.
So
See
he's
what
a
the
rook.
year is.
So I understand that, but he looks like he's got a promising future.
Yeah,
I do
he's
like him.
good.
Yeah, I do like him.
I mean, do you play him over Bojan Bogdanovic?
No.
It's bogus.
Do you,
No,
do you
you
play him
find-
over
you find minutes
CDK?
somewhere.
But you do find minutes for him, though.
Yeah, you find
Even
minutes
as a rook,
somewhere.
I think you could find some minutes for
And
him.
Sadiq Bey didn't join until the James Wiseman trade. That was the trade deadline. So they had like
Yeah, that's true.
5 months to get him some PT.
Dubious Handle, that's a fire name, said Hawks weak side double and can't rotate. Bad combo.
Quinn Snyder teams can't rotate. It's been a problem ever since Quinn Snyder's been a coach. So
Same thing was going on in Utah, too. Same thing was going on in Utah.
Nah, they just were getting beat off one dribble. They weren't even rotating. They didn't have time to rotate.
I agree with that too.
They suck before Quinn, and they're gonna suck after Quinn.
I also agree with that.
All right, fellas, here we go. I got one for you, and then we're going to get into the game of the night. Shane Howard said, hypothetical question, fellas. I know it's hard to judge, but when it's all said and done, who would y'all think had a better career, D-Wade or Kawhi?
D-Wade.
D-Wade.
Oh, that's not even a real question, man.
It's not.
They're just trying to stir some shit.
Yeah, they are. And the thing that gets this question going or gets conversations like this going is what Leonard did in the postseason. Because had Leonard not done what he done in the postseason, he wouldn't even be in the conversation.
Well, it's going to be when healthy.
Yeah, right.
When
right.
healthy, D-Wade is still better than Kawhi. Well, to me at least. Like,
why your face like that, Tom? I don't think that's
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I disagree with you guys then, because I think D-Wade I think like 09, 2010 D-Wade before LeBron came better than Kawhi ever was.
Nah,
I don't know.
I think peak Kawhi is better than peak Wade.
Yeah.
The way that led the league in scoring and was second in third in defensive. I think he was third in league MVP votes that year, and I think he was in the top 5 in defensive player of the year. I don't know about that.
I think the best Kawhi Leonard is far better than the
when is the best Kawhi Leonard?
I wouldn't say far better, but it's a good.
And it's the defense that separates them.
Yeah,
Like,
when
defensively,
is
he's
the
in
best
shape.
Kawhi Leonard? When is the best Kawhi Leonard?
Is it
Are
not?
we gonna go? Are we gonna say 18, 19 Kawhi Leonard or 15, 16 Kawhi Leonard? Maybe 16.
I thought it was 16, 17. Kawhi
I was about to say
Kawhi.
16, 17. Is 16, 17 Kawhi Leonard better than 08, 09 Dwayne Wade?
Lord no. He's better. He's much better defensively because that version of Kawhi.
What you value out of the game.
See how you get the debate because of all the load management and injuries. We all go no Dwayne Wade, but then you get into this conversation, and that's where it's a conversation.
Yeah, I think D-Wade is just so much better offensively.
I don't think he clears him. I don't think he clears Kawhi Leonard, but I do think
how is Wade that much better of an offensive player than Kawhi?
The
fact that he's substantially more comfortable as a playmaker and passer, the way he gets to the rim is second to none. His ability to play out the pick and roll, the ability to play
Kawhi Leonard
in
can't do
transition.
all of that.
Not to the level of D Wade. See, this is the thing. When I'm talking about
I'm not
comparing
saying.
players,
I'm not
that
saying
doesn't mean one
who's
player
better.
can't do something. Like if I say Steph Curry,
I'm not saying Kawhi Leonard's better, but you said he's way better than Kawhi Leonard. I don't see
so
this.
like I said, if I say
separation
Steph Curry is a way better shooter than KD, doesn't mean I'm saying KD
we're not
can't
talking
shoot.
about them. We talking about
So understand what's going on. If I say
offensively.
someone is way better at something, that doesn't mean I'm not saying the other guy can't do it. Like
I
why
didn't
would
say
you
that.
ask that? You
I'm
literally said
saying,
Kawhi can't
where's
do
this
that.
gap
That's what you
coming
are.
from? I'm just.
I don't know if you.
I don't understand this humongous gap between the two offensively. There is a humongous gap.
I was explaining it, and then you asked me Kawhi can't do that, and then I was like, well, obviously he can do those things, just not to the level of D.
No, but I'm saying, how is Wade doing them far superior than Kawhi Leonard doing them? It might be marginally better, maybe by a little bit, but if you completely interchange the two players offensively, you're not going to have that much fall off.
I disagree.
They both can give you high level production on the offensive side of the ball. Wade cannot give you the same defensive production that Kawhi Leonard gives you.
I agree with that. I think as a playmaker and a passer, playing out the pick and roll in particular, D Wade was substantially better than Kawhi was in 2017. Kawhi in 2017 was a terrible playmaker and passer, and that's when we went with his peak. If you want to say 2021, sure, the gap closes because I think Kawhi became a much better decision maker in those years, but then the defense fell off. So, like, I don't know what you want me to do. So, if you want me to make super Kawhi and do 17 defense, 2019 scoring, and 2021 playmaking, cool, he's better than D Wade. But that Kawhi never existed.
With Kawhi Leonard, a lot of people just knocking him because of what we've seen recently, but peak Kawhi Leonard was, if he stays, like, obviously there's a lot of ifs in his career.
There it is.
I know it's a lot of ifs, and the ifs only because he gets hurt. But when he was healthy,
what you mean recency?
There was no question that he was unstoppable
before he got hurt this series.
You said what?
So I said you said recency bias, like Kawhi wasn't. Mind you, I agree with you. Right now.
I'm saying recency bias this whole year.
Kawhi was just chopping
this whole year. Like I always expect Kawhi Leonard when he touches the court, he's going to be Kawhi Leonard. The question is when is he going to go down? Because it's just like now, it's like we know he's going to be great when he plays, but it's just how many games he's going to miss, or when he's going to go down with another injury, and that's what seems to be happening.
The other thing is, I just think it's so hard to we always try to do this, but they play such different styles. Like I think we all agree Kawhi's defense over Wade's defense. Yes. Kawhi's a better 3-point shooter. Dwayne's better at get ball handling, distributing, and getting to the basket. Like they play a very different style, but I don't think, and this is where the when they're at their best separates for me. Why I lean to Kawhi? 1, the defense. 2, because I don't think, and I know this is a big if you reverse their roles, like if you put Dwayne Wade on that Toronto team, I don't think they win the chip. But if you put Kawhi on any of those Miami teams, I think they do win the chip. So I think he has more transferable skills.
Right. And if that's true, if you take Dwayne Wade off that 2008-2009 team with Jermaine O'Neal and Mario Chalmers, you think, and you put Kawhi Leonard on that crew, you think they make the playoffs?
The best Kawhi Leonard who doesn't get hurt, sure, but you know he's going to get hurt. You know you're not going to get that. But yeah, it's the one that we're talking about that played 74 games in that year, where he averaged
27. I think he averaged 26 a game. He averaged 26 a game.
Whatever that was. Yeah, I think they make it. Yeah.
So you're talking about a 2016, 2017 Kawhi Leonard who wasn't a good distributor, who was terrible, who wasn't a good distributor, right? He didn't make plays for other guys in terms of getting these guys open shots, right? And Dwayne Wade, who was better than that, who had to average 32 a game in order to get that Miami Heat team in the playoffs, where they were, by the way, the 8th seed. So now we're talking about a guy who's substantially. Right. So we're talking about a guy who's substantially worse offensively. And now he's going to take that team and get them to the playoffs. I think that's going to be tough.
It really, I mean, for me, the argument really sounds like which gap is bigger, the defensive gap or the playmaking gap? So is Kawhi so much better of a defender compared to Prime or the 09 D Wade versus D Wade's playmaking versus Kawhi, which is
I don't think that, and to be honest with you guys, and you guys think that I'm ridiculous. So the best version of him, I don't think that defensive gap is that
big.
The best version of him, because Dwayne Wade as an on-ball defender, Dwayne Wade as a shot blocker, as a rim protector, I don't think that it's that far away. I think Kawhi Leonard, and Lamont has already made a video about this, and I've seen it, and I also watch Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, when he's not guarding, when he's off the ball, is garbage. I want to make sure that we 100% clear on that. Kawhi Leonard is a ball watcher. Not only is he a ball watcher, he's late on rotations. Dwayne Wade is a very good team defender. Not a good team defender. He's a very good team defender and a substantially better rim protector at that stage. I'm not going off Dwayne. I'm not going off Kawhi Leonard just being that much better than Dwayne Wade at that time defensively. I don't think he's that much better. If he is, it's really close.
All right, fellas, it's time to get into it. We got 2 game 6s tonight. We're gonna go ahead and
and Big Ox, take what I need Big Ox to do. I need Big Ox to take his fan hat off, and I need him to put his analyst basketball hat on. That's what I need him to do right now. I need I need the emotion to come out, and I need the analyst and the basketball mind to come in. Come on, brother. Come on, get on board with us. We're due for one.
We're due for one. They beat us three games straight. We're due for one. Like, it's a good series, good matchup.
That's not a good strategy.
Yeah, it's really
Which means it's not a good strategy. That's not a strategy. I'm just
hoping that you
like,
do for one is not a.
I'm not hoping for nothing, Lamont. I'm just saying they squeaked a couple out. Like, we're due for one. We win there. Kings and 7, bro. It's simple as that. Like,
hey, Lamont, I'm good for
my thing is this, Lamont. My thing is this too. We still haven't played good yet.
Maybe
maybe it's
just not going to happen.
There's a reason why you haven't played good.
Kevin Huerter just ain't giving it to us.
It's a reason.
The reason is this. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like Clay. Y'all act like Klay Thompson didn't just go crazy game 6 or game 5. I'm sorry. We have to just put it together. Like I said earlier, if we don't, I'm okay with being wrong. We went in there, we did what we could do, but I still believe in the Kings winning in game 7. y'all so easily swayed by it's the fact that it's the Warriors. It's the Warriors. It's gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be a rough one. It's been a rough one for us. I just think that we wasted one of Keegan Murray's good games. Game 6 tonight. We'll put it back together. We'll come out on top. Draymond Green going for 21. Like, come on, do y'all think that's gonna happen again?
No,
it don't need to happen again. They already got one win off of it. That's really all you can ask for.
They're back
they
home.
can get one win.
They are that's the
they won one on the road. We can't win one on the road too.
No,
I don't think so. No, I don't think that's
the reason why is because I'm. Go ahead, Tony.
Hey, look, wait. At the Chase Center or whatever. We were right there, so why can't we?
We don't do almost. We don't do almost.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's
man.
it. That's the only time.
I'm not. We don't want credit for almost winning. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, y'all act like it wasn't like a close game. Y'all act like we wasn't right.
Oh yeah, it was close. We all agree it was close, but at the end of the day, you don't win games for close. Like,
no. And Mars, I'm not. Did I ever say that? Like, I don't think we win games for being close. What I'm saying is, all these games except for game 3,
right.
we're very close games. It's not like the Warriors just are beating the hell out of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're right there. I don't see any reason why we can't win game 6. I don't see any reason. On top of that, if and when we do win tonight, do y'all really think the Warriors are going to win game 7 at the Golden One Center?
No idea, but I think
talk about it.
Yeah,
It's not going to happen.
It might be a wrap.
Well, let's rewind.
This game might be a blowout.
Let's rewind. You just said that there's no reason what you said.
One of them classic Golden State blowouts.
You said there's no reason why you see that y'all can't win tonight. Well, I'm taking the team that wins. I'm taking the team that wins 80% of their games at home over the team that wins 60% of their games on the road. I'll start there. That's number one.
Sure, that's not fair. You can't base it on that, and they just won on the road. That's not fair
That's exactly why I'm basing that on. That's exactly why I'm doing that, for that reason right there. Because now we're home. All we had to do was win on the road. So now we're home where we win 80% of our games. You guys are on the road where you only win 60% of your games. There's the advantage. So that's why I'm doing that. That's number one. You keep telling us, Big Ox, that you haven't played your best. Well, there's a reason why you haven't played your best. The reason why you haven't played your best is because what Golden State does to take you out of what you do best. So, for example, you guys like to get up and down the floor. You guys like to play fast. Well, Golden State knows that, and they know that they can't run up and down with you guys all game. So they try to control the tempo, which slows you guys down, which is why Huerter can't get in rhythm like you'd like him to get in rhythm, which is why who am I thinking about? Fox, which is why Fox can't get in the rhythm, how you'd like him to get in the rhythm. Add that to the fact that
think Fox has been in rhythm?
He had one bad half, in my opinion.
Not Fox. I'm not talking about Fox. I'm talking about Monk. That's who I'm talking about. Not Fox. I'm talking about.
Although he lost.
Actually, this is the same Monk who averaged 25 a game at home, and he averaged 10 a game in Golden State. He averaged 10 points a game on the road. So, with that being said, they play different at home. They take you out of your rhythm at home. They rebound more at home. So this is a team that looks better at home than they do on the road. So to answer your question, you can't see how y'all can lose at y'all. No reason why you don't think that you can win. There it is, right there.
Now look, those are all good points, Chill. But I'm saying y'all act like so Malik game one had 32. So y'all act like we expect Malik to have 32 every night. We don't. We expect Malik to play good. He had one bad game in this whole series. He had one bad game. Other than that, Malik's been doing what we need him to do. Mm-hmm. I don't. It's 3-2. Yes, the Warriors are up, but it's not like they just been blasting us though. That's what I'm saying. It's like we still got action, especially after we win tonight. Y'all can't tell me that y'all got the Warriors in Game 7. They're not winning two.
Game 7's a different story. It's just whether I don't think anyone believes it's going to Game 7. So that's why. Yeah, well, of course you do. But I was wrong about Kevin Hurt. We should have known he wasn't going to perform in the playoffs when we saw what he did in the 3-point contest. That was a sign when the lights shine bright, he can't play basketball. So I got tricked.
You got to do that.
I think the Warriors are doing a good job.
You're gonna see. Watch.
Check it out, Bob. The good news is you and Ron and Trey and De'Aaron Fraud can all work together this
weekend. De'Aaron Fox is not a fraud. Let's not do that.
De'Aaron Fraud is crazy.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
0 points in the fourth quarter.
One fourth quarter. So everybody's a fraud. Everybody's a fraud.
When it matters most, we'll see what he does.
Everybody's a fraud. LeBron's a fraud. Everybody's a fraud.
Yeah.
LeBron is a fraud, but that's a different
fraud. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a different subject. That's a different.
Well, no, Damo. I'm just saying if De'Aaron's a fraud for having one bad fourth quarter this season, then everybody's a fraud.
Dale Train, what up?
When it matters most.
How's my mic today?
Right. Train. What up, brother?
Sounds like you ready to cook today.
Nah, I just have my man Bob Cook. Why you keep bringing up that the Warriors haven't been smacking them? If we use that logic,
I'm saying because they're close.
Please don't bring out the Brooklyn Nets series last year, though.
No, nothing to do with Brooklyn Nets. I'm staying right here. Why you keep bringing that up? If I use that same logic for the Warriors, it should be over in 5 then, because Warriors should have won Game 1,
and we should have won Game 4.
No.
Yeah. Why not?
Nah, a Harrison Barnes 3-pointer is not you saying you should have won the game. Everyone knew that was missing. Everyone.
Even
Harrison Barnes knew it wasn't going in.
All right, so
he shot it because he was open, not because he was
airball and threes.
Trust me, that was not a design.
But I'm not calling it close games. I'm calling it wins. You're the one who's calling it. Oh, this person the games are close. I'm not calling it that. You are. So you can't say, because honestly, Game 1 that joint was like. You, based on your logic, it should be over.
We're gonna let you have 2 at home, and we're taking the next 4. This is what a gentleman would do.
Yo, that's crazy. Them reeling off 4 too, by the way. But go ahead.
Yo, they reeled off 3. If they win tonight, then we can say that tomorrow. They reeled off 4.
Even they reeled off 3.
Have you never seen a team win 2, lose 3, win 2?
I think this is the hardest game though tonight.
For who?
For the Warriors.
Close our games always.
Yeah. For the Warriors. But it's Game 6, and they have a light-skinned assassin who, honestly, Game 6 Clay is a thing.
We'll see tonight if it's a thing. We'll see tonight.
No, it's a thing.
It is a thing. It is absolutely a thing. It absolutely is a thing. So
we'll see tonight.
The last 2 games, we've been averaging 25.
Fourth quarter Fox is a thing too. Y'all see what just happened the other night.
I just don't want to overvalue Sacramento.
That's what mattered most.
That's a consistent thing. Like, he just messed up 1 fourth quarter. Fox been very consistent in the fourth. He had 1 bad fourth quarter. It happens. I don't think nobody's looking at him different.
I just don't want to overvalue Sacramento. I mean, this is a team that hasn't been in the playoffs in how long, Ox?
Exactly, right.
No, it's not irrelevant. And here's why it's not irrelevant, Fox. Because what happens is that you get to the playoffs and you automatically think, we're this team. Well, wait a minute. You're building to become that team. And the expectations are unrealistic. You guys were not shaded. You guys were not touted to be the number 3 seed in the West 6 months ago.
To me,
you were
we
reaching. You guys were reaching for that, right? You guys were reaching when you said that. That was not realistic that a team that was in 12th place last year in the Western Conference goes all the way up to 3rd place.
Obviously, it is realistic.
So right, and it's especially for a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in 17 years. But
what does that got to do with this roster, Chilton?
What it has to do with it is that you guys are building something, and we don't want to be unrealistic to go, yo, we're going up against the defending champs. Not only are we going up against the defending champs who are battle tested. That's what that game 5 was. That game 5 was going to be a test of your will, and you guys aren't battle tested. They are. That's why they pulled that game out.
Saying we're supposed to bow down to the Warriors because
ain't nobody saying that there's a difference. You can understand something, Big Ox. You can fight and get your ass kicked. Let's make sure that we're clear about that. Just because you lose, that doesn't mean you didn't fight. Those guys are battle tested, which means that they've been in plenty of fights. This is the first time you've been in a fight like this. So because this is the first time you've been in a fight like this, it's not a knock on you that you lost. It's not a knock on you that you lost. So with that being said,
to me, it is a knock. I'm not giving the Kings no slack. I'm gonna call it just like I'll call any team. I don't care what happened last year or the year before. We in the playoffs. We got to play ball. We got to show up. We got to win. If we lose, they don't get no. For me, they don't get no sympathy like, oh, we haven't been to the playoffs this long, that long. I don't care about that. We gotta win this series.
I just think that
you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah,
and you're definitely right though. I'm not going away from that. You're definitely right. The Warriors, when crunch time comes, you can see this is why they're champions.
Right.
Because they do things that other teams just don't do.
And that's not a knock against your boys. That's not a knock against your boys because y'all got a damn good team. And I think that continuing to build this roster, I think you dudes are going to be on your way to doing something in the future. I just think that y'all ain't there yet.
I feel if we lose tonight or lose in Game 7, I'm gonna have to come back and be like, no, you're right. But right now, we still in it. We still fighting. We coming from the.
I would be excited even if they lost tonight. If I'm a Kings fan, I'm excited about the future. Yeah, I'm looking at the Kings and I'm like, yo, we on our way to doing something.
I think Monty is going to make some moves this summer as well. I think we're going to get better.
They can't go to the podium like Giannis and say failures.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I hated that quote. I don't know if y'all talked about that quote.
You didn't.
I don't know.
Wait, real quick. My bad, Dale. I just want to say to Dominique, I'm a wonderful business owner.
Yeah, so I don't. The Kings had a great year.
What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing. Well, just in the chat.
Oh.
I'm just talking about
everything the Kings is gonna go through. The Warriors themselves went through it. OKC never got through the hump, but early the Lakers was pouncing on them. They went through it. Literally, the Memphis Grizzlies is still going through it as much as they're walking around like they won championships. They're going through it.
Which makes me nuts, Dell, by the way. That makes me nuts with them dudes. Shut up and rock. You ain't done nothing.
You ain't do nothing. So all the Kings, who I think next year, people going to be looking at them to like, next year if they go out in the first round, people might be looking at them more crazy as, nah, y'all got to build on this. So the Kings losing the 6, honestly, that's why everybody other than you, most people, myself, I think Mars had Kings winning because he didn't think they was winning on the road. But I had the Warriors. If the Warriors lose tonight, Game 7 going to be tricky. I might still go with the Warriors, but I know it's going to be like tricky.
When did Fox hurt his finger?
Game 4 in like the fourth quarter, I think.
Game 4. Okay.
Hey,
you know, in the first 2 games he was 10 of 18 in the fourth quarter, and the last 3 games he's 5 of 19, 26%.
10 of 18 in the first 2 games.
Uh-huh.
What was he in Game 3? What was he in Game 3?
1 of 4.
Okay.
That was the game they got blown out, right?
Game 3.
Just saying, he's Mr. Clutch.
So they were getting blown out. Not really clutch at that point.
Hey, y'all gonna see tonight. Y'all gonna see tonight. This ain't what y'all think. This ain't what y'all think it is.
I hope so. I'd love the series to go 7.
Hey, we want LA.
No, y'all don't.
What you asked
for? We gonna do everything in our power to make sure we get a part of LA.
Hey, Damo, what's the opposite of yes, we do?
No, you don't, buddy. No, you don't.
You think you do, but you don't.
Y'all got Sabonis down there battling with Kevon Looney like that. Don't get him down there. Don't get him down there with AD, man.
You think you want this smoke? You don't want it. I'm telling you.
Hey, Kevon Looney got DeMontis' number right now. That's fine.
What you think? Hey, Devon and AD gonna have his whole phone. Damn the number. He gonna take his phone. He's gonna have his phone.
We're not worried about that soft fashion.
Okay.
Hey, I just want to ask.
You want to know what DeMontis is gonna do when he sees AD?
What Look, this is my thing. That's not how basketball works. AD can win that matchup, and we can still win the series.
You're not going to see LA unless you're going on vacation or the games, dude.
Even if we don't get him, we still want him.
I'm about to watch Austin Reeves behind the goddamn pick and roll and float her all over the Kings. I can't. We want Sacramento. I can't wait.
Austin Reeves.
On second thought,
then y'all taking the ball from Austin. Say his name, dog.
Yeah, I want this to go 7.
Then y'all taking the ball from Austin.
I want Kings in 7. You're absolutely right.
Kings in 7. That's what I want.
I know what I was thinking all this time.
What do I think's gonna happen?
Y'all need to worry about the Memphis Grizzlies. That's what y'all need to do.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We'll get to that in a second. No, hold on, wait, Damo. We'll get to that in a second. Before we do get there, I just want to ask: does anybody other than Bob have the Kings winning tonight?
Come on, y'all.
I don't.
I think it's possible.
No, Mars. Who do you have?
I have the Warriors winning. I have the Warriors winning.
Yeah.
Floyd, you know you want to say yes.
Golden State got what they came for.
I want to say yes.
They got that road win.
That's a fact.
They got that road win.
You've been calling it the whole way, Chill. You've been calling it. They did what they had to do to go get that one in sack, but that's where the love stopped.
Bob, so you don't think it's crazy that if they do win tonight, they wrote off 4 straight wins?
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I mean it's not crazy. I mean, like I said from the beginning of the series, we talking about Steph Curry. We talking about Steph Curry. So nothing's crazy when it comes to Steph. I just think that we can beat them.
You got to listen to Rudy T, man. You know what Rudy T said. I'm not telling you.
Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
Oh, Rudy Tomjanovich. Okay, got you. I'm like, I ain't hear that name in ages.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fellas.
So none of y'all got it? Mars.
No,
I want y'all to win.
When the Warriors won a road game, my mind changed.
Yeah, when the Warriors won a road game.
The Warriors won my whole basis was predicated on the fact they weren't going to win a road game.
Mars wants to be a Warriors fan. We said no.
No, I'm not gonna lie. The way Houston is saying they're willing to shop Jalen Green, Houston are worrying me right now. Can't lie.
Chat, y'all. Y'all don't got us, please.
Nobody in the chat. Everyone's got the Warriors. Everyone's got the Warriors.
Hey, well, y'all all gonna be wrong.
Mini Mamba. Who you got tonight? Oh, I think we know.
Oh, little Floyd.
Oh,
damn.
No, we're in a tight Zoom. You gotta warn me when you're doing that. Put him to bed again. You're in a tight Zoom.
Oh, hey, can I at least get a flex, little Floyd, please? At least a flex. Please. Oh, thank you.
I will say, if y'all do win tonight, I do have Kings in 7. I will say that if the Warriors don't close out the night, it's cooked. That's how I feel. But I don't think y'all.
We're talking about a championship team who got what they came for, all the momentum on their home floor to close out the series. This would be monumental if Golden State lost. What's the likelihood, barring any injury, that Golden State is going to play, or the Sacramento Kings are going to play that much better in their building in order for them to win? Because it's going to take a huge effort for Sacramento to win this game. I think that there's people in that Sacramento arena, when they walked out, they said this is the last time we're going to see this team this year.
If I'm the Kings, I know that the Kings like to play fast. They like to get up and down, right? But if I'm the Kings, I'm almost thinking I want to slow down the first quarter as much as possible because I am
100%.
I'm scared 100%. The Warriors are going to come out and blitz me and be up like 25 when I blink. And I think that's what scares me is you get the Warriors. For all their good and bad, they are phenomenal, the best front runners. When they have a lead, they're ridiculous. So if I'm the Kings, I'm aware of that, and I'm trying everything I can to keep it slow and not let that happen. Because if they keep it close, that's how the Kings do have a chance.
In fact,
you don't want to let Steph Curry get out of 10 because then
You can't outrun and outshoot the Warriors with them boys. You just can't. And they shoot. Kings try to shoot, but you really can't. You have Steph and Clay. Honestly, this is why when they're healthy, I've said it numerous times. I don't see no one beating them. I just can't because of them two light skinned. HR told me I can't continue that statement, but you know.
That shit is crazy, bro.
I've been saying that for years.
Why are we out here trying to shoot with them?
Yeah, but that's their game. There was the number one offense team this year, right? In the NBA.
Sacramento was the number one offense, and Golden State was 2.
I'm saying, like, honestly, doesn't it look dumb to be out here trying to shoot? Like, we having a shootout with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson?
Well, you got to remember too, Big Ox. I mean, this is how we got here. We can't just, in the words of Jay-Z, you don't change a player's game in the 9th inning. This is how we got here.
You guys just said a minute ago, you don't come out and experiment in the playoffs?
No, we don't. This is how we got here.
I feel you for him, but look, we're not gonna shoot it out with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and come out happy.
And I also think
who has ever done that?
So then why are you saying Kings in 7?
Because we gonna win.
But you just said that you're not gonna outshoot them when your game plan the whole time has been to outshoot them.
We don't have to outshoot them to win. We just gotta play better basketball. That's what I'm saying. Like we just gotta play better basketball.
I also think too.
I don't know what is the formula. That's Mike Brown's job. I don't know what we're supposed to do to beat the Warriors. I know we have the personnel to do it, though. I honestly think we have the personnel. And once again, like I said, I'm no expert. I don't know what we should do, but we can't go out there and think we're just going to outshoot Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
The formula is Sabonis. That's the formula.
Chilltown. He's been shooting that midi. He was shooting that midi.
No, Golden State Warriors shows you the formula. It was take Draymond Green ass out of the starting lineup. Therefore, you can make them pay in more ways than one. Now you got 4 offensive threats out there on the court. So now you got to account for 4 dudes offensively and Looney getting all the boards. So Looney's doing all the dirty work, getting all the boards. You don't have to now play off of 2 dudes. It's easier to play off 2 guys that you are willing to let go get you 15 or 20 if they can possibly do it in Draymond and Looney. But now since it's just Looney, now you got Wiggins out there. Look at all the buckets Wiggins getting. Look at the threes Wiggins hitting. Look at the buckets in the basket. Wiggins is getting them offensive rebounds just around the basket. Wiggins has really made them pay at that 4 spot, and we haven't given him enough credit. His little 18, 19 points per game in this series has helped in that starting lineup, along with the 7, 8 rebounds he's been getting. So we can't forget about what Wiggins is doing for them. We know Draymond brings a good element to him, but he looks way better coming off the bench with this team because Draymond comes off the bench and he's focused and knows what he has to do for this team. To me, I stick like this if I'm the Warriors for however much time he's left on the team.
Tone, am I out of line when I say that I think that the Sacramento Kings got rope-a-dope in Game 5, where we're gonna take their best shot and we're just gonna hang around. And we're going to take their best shot again, and then we're just going to hang around. And then we get late in the game when we're in the 7th, 8th round, and you know what? Those legs are a little bit jello, and that right hook isn't as hard as it is. And now here I come now shooting the long ball and speeding up the game. And now all of a sudden, the Sacramento Kings don't look as good as they did in the second quarter. They don't look as fast as they did in the first quarter. And then they start to wear down. Am I out of line if I say that?
I don't think so. That's not ridiculous to say that. Hey, chill. I'm under the impression that they ain't sweated all series.
Mars, this is for you.
That Steph Curry wasn't worried about one game.
Man, everyone knew that game didn't happen, man. Facts.
They weren't worried all game 4.
They've been in those positions before. Yeah. They've been down 3-1 before.
They have, but I'm saying they wasn't worried at all in Game 4. Is what you're saying?
That's the difference between and again, I know Bob, your fandom kind of maybe not letting you see this, but that's the difference between an organization, forget a team and players, an organization that has a track record of winning and that don't. Like that's why the Warriors can do that, and like they're in that situation where you said we're going to let the Kings do what they do. We're just going to hang around, and we know at some point they're going to give us a chance. Every team, listen, the NBA, every team gives you a chance. It's a game of runs now. Right. We're going to stay close. We don't panic. And off we go. And I think that is what we saw in Game 5. So
I hear you, Fluent, but what I'm saying is I don't believe that the Warriors let us do anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they let us do anything. I just don't.
Bob, I guarantee y'all get blown out.
They
I
let
guarantee y'all get blown out.
I knew Tigger was gonna say that. Tigger,
I
you
want
got
everybody to keep the same. I want everybody to keep the same energy with Mars too, because Mars talk a lot of shit when I'm wrong. Well, no, shut your ass up. You talk a lot of shit when I'm wrong, but your ass was real wrong about this series. So I want everybody to keep the same goddamn energy with Mars.
Ain't even over yet.
Oh, it's over. It's over. That series ended in game 5, sucker. You the only one on earth that didn't get the message.
We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, it's over. I just want to see if the whole crowd is going to keep the same energy with Mars like they do with me. Because Mars set up here, oh, the Warriors have shown you who they are. They've shown you all season they're not a good road team. They haven't went on the road. Motherfuckers went and got their ass on the road, nigga. 3 the hard way, nigga. Like I said before, man.
We're gonna kick their ass.
Feel me? You feel me? Chill. I'm just keeping it real. Chill. I'm keeping it 100. Remember how you pulled up them receipts on the chat, Chill? You put out the receipts on their ass, right? Now I'm pulling out receipts.
Yeah, the issue is I brought the receipts my damn self. I said I was wrong. I said that. I stood on the fact I said I don't think they were.
So you gonna wiggle out now? You said you wrong. But when I came in here and said I was wrong about the Bucks, y'all still stumped the mud hole on my ass and tried to walk it dry.
What did I say to you? What did I say to you about the Bucks? Like, what did I say when you said you was wrong about you was wrong about the Bucks?
Put me on the big screen, Ron. Put me on the big screen, Ron. Put me on the big screen. I'll tell you what you said, Ron. And what did you say about Giannis? You said you put him in the same category as Hakeem. Do you still believe this, lad? Yeah. Do you want a cup of tea? Do you still believe that he's in the level of Hakeem? Huh? Yeah, that's what you said, man. That's what you said, right? You started bringing up old stuff I said. So now the tables are turned, boy. I'm not finna let you get off the hook because you said, hey, man, I'm wrong. No, I'm going to stomp your ass wrong, period.
The difference is
the worst impression.
I clearly said after game 5 on the show yesterday, I said, yeah, I was wrong about the Warriors. I didn't expect them to win a road game. They won a road game. I was wrong. I'm fine. If you wanna bring up the fact that I was wrong more than I bring up the fact that I was wrong, that's fine. I mean, it's not gonna phase me because if I know I'm wrong, why would I care? You pointing out that I'm wrong when I said I was wrong. Like, what do you think that's gonna do to me? Offend me? Make me upset? Make me sad? No, I don't care about being wrong. Like, I've got 3 series right. Of all 8, I got 3 right. Like, I've been wrong more than not. I don't care. Like, that's not gonna phase me. You're the one who cares when you're wrong.
Kings and 7.
You're doing a lot of talking for not caring.
Warriors in 6.
But when I don't talk, you say I'm ducking.
Lakers in 6.
When I talk, you're saying I'm talking too much. All right, whatever, man.
Lakers in 6. Warriors in 6.
Yo, Damo, we gonna win this series.
We'll win in the 6.
Just so that we can get some in LA. That's all we want.
I cannot wait to see my Lakers put more tears in the eyes of Sacramento fans again. I was way younger last time. The last time this happened, I was a little jit, so I didn't really get to experience it for real. But now,
it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Damo. That's very offensive to Sacramento fans. That's almost as worse as calling somebody in Sacramento's mama fat. It's almost that bad.
What did he call?
If they mama fat, they mama fat. You know what I'm saying? We ain't worried about nothing.
Right. And if Shaq calls Sacramento the Queens, they're the Queens.
Hey,
we're not worried about Shaq. We're not worried about Shaq.
Hey, man, shout out. I say one thing.
They had to cheat for Shaq to get that. They had to cheat for Shaq.
Hey, Bob, don't get my blood pressure up, Bob.
You see what I'm
You struck a nerve. Hey, chill, Tim. Call your cousin and tell him he got that one. They got a 3-peat because they cheated. Hey,
you say cheat, I say y'all lost. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Bob, I give y'all credit. Bob, I give y'all boys credit for one thing. At least y'all ain't have dudes like Paul George and Kawhi who sat down when they got hurt. At least De'Aaron Fox, when they told him his season was over with, at least he got his ass out there and tried to drop 30 on their ass.
Kawhi just needs to play on the tournament. This is tough.
He played. Hold on, Bob. He played game 2 and dropped 30 on the torn meniscus.
Oh, so he did play on the injury. So he did play on the injury. You just said
no. He quit. He quit from playing on the injury.
You just said he played on it.
I've known dudes who played the whole series in the playoffs in the NBA on torn meniscus. So don't cut it out.
You cooked yourself. You said he didn't play for it, and then you just said he played game 2 on the torn meniscus.
He said he did, but his name is Kawhi, so we don't know when it's a lie and when it's the truth.
Kawhi.
All right. Hey, and Paul George too. Talking about I will never quit, but ass sat down there the whole series. You got the young dudes teaching these dudes how to do. Man, shout out to De'Aaron Fox, bro. Not only did the dude play with a broke finger, he went out there and dropped. How much he had that game? Chill 30?
31, I think.
That's tough, bro. That's tough. We got to respect dudes like that who are willing to go out there and compete. He could have laid it down. They told him he was done for the season, right? He could have laid it down and said, you know what? I got an excuse. Boom. No, he didn't do that, bro. We got to respect dudes like that.
I don't know why we're comparing them.
Yeah, we ain't bowing down to the Warriors.
Paul George been out.
Do we have any more super chats there, Ron? You want to go through? Or?
We have a lot.
Yeah, let's get to him, Ron. What you got, Ron?
Since regular season.
Are we supposed to be done at 2?
What you got, Ron?
I got 5 kids to feed.
Me too, but how I'm gonna do it with $3?
Hevion said we only here for the big dog
Only
ticket.
Tuesdays.
Nah, we ain't only here for me.
Well, here he is. He right there.
We ain't only here for me, bro. We ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I got to have somebody to argue with.
Zane got a question for you, Ticket. Who's better, Malika Andrews or Taylor Rooks?
Oh, Taylor Rooks. Hold on. Taylor Rooks. Taylor Rooks is, dog. Man, I know them dudes be having a hard time doing an interview with her. That's all I'm going to say.
Man. Focus.
Man, dog. But look. Malika Andrews, though, if she didn't have that little attitude, baby, you got to change your attitude, baby. You know what I'm saying? You look walking around here acting like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to change your attitude, Malika. You fine. But change your attitude a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
CBT in the chat talking about Malika not even that sweet.
Broadcasting.
You tripping.
It's a sports show. Keep focused.
She is not hard to look at, though. No,
keep focused. Y'all hey, I know you ain't talking with all them dudes up there. Y'all got in Toronto be fiending over Doris Burks. You better cut that out.
Hey, Doris Burks is beautiful.
I know nothing.
Hey, Maria Taylor clears though.
Oh yeah, she bad, dog.
Idawu Sanusi said, Ron, you ain't cold today? Ice tray melted.
Definitely a little warmer in here today than what it was a couple of days ago when the coat was on. And
y'all see, I got the short sleeve shirt on. You know,
short sleeve shirt on.
Cool today, baby.
My man had the Scully on. He had the Goose bomber on. He was wild. Temperature got turned up today, though.
Souls and Sage said, put some respect on JT.
Talk to Big Ox. Talk to Big Ox about that. Talk to that dude.
Hey, I'm only calling him out because I respect his game. I think he's too good to be doing that. That's the same thing I was trying to do with Paul George a couple seasons ago. And you know, I got big love for JT. That's all I'm saying. I think I just don't understand what are you scared of? You too good to be out here shook.
Officer Ricky said, did this dude Ticket just pretend to know what Mars is like as a person?
No, he was using an analogy. Like,
not the same thing, Officer Ricky. That's all he was doing.
Yeah, you're thinking way too deep.
Yeah, you're making it into something more than what it is. It's really not that
Thanks for
serious.
having my back, Mars. That's that hating them dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't lie. Like,
they got to get that malice.
We might fight with each other, but we'll band together to beat you. Anyways, go ahead.
Van Giovanni, DJ Khaled said, what do y'all think about MA as the new coach?
Nah, get him out, man. Get him out of Houston. Get him out. Talking about trading Jalen Green. Why they trying to compete straight away? Nah, get him out. He's not.
Nah, they said they about to trade. They said they probably gonna trade Jalen Green today.
Yeah, get him out of Houston. We get email.
Yeah, that was just reported. That was just reported on Bleacher Report today.
Fire him.
Email you there because no one can hear.
No, I'm gonna fire him.
Exactly.
They said they're gonna try to trade Jalen Green. They said they're probably trying to. They said they're probably trying to trade Jalen Green for win now assets, which means they're probably gonna try and package him and try to go get. They may try to put a big package together and go and get old boy from Boston if they flame out.
Jalen Brown.
Brown. Because I heard Brown's not happy over there.
Maybe if he did first, Brown and Lillard to the Trailblazers.
Maybe if Jalen Green showed up.
We need
maybe if he showed up. What's that mean?
Maybe if Jalen Green showed up to the press conference.
Nice job. Nice job.
Louder.
Nice job. Nice job.
Yeah.
Hey,
more trophies than Giannis this season.
Oh.
Yo, Mars. So they talking about trading Jalen Green for win now assets?
Yeah. So
who do you trade Jalen Green for that makes Houston a win now team?
I don't know. They're being fraudulent.
Anybody?
I don't know what they're doing.
I told you, Lillard and Brown in Houston.
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to sabotage their franchise. If Jalen Green leaves, I leave. So there's that.
You out, Mars? You front runner? You gotta be kidding me.
They're gonna move that.
I go where Jalen Green goes.
That first pick, Wembanyama to Portland, some Jalen Brown and pieces to Boston, and Lillard and Brown in Houston.
I would much rather
to
keep
Portland
Jalen Green
is
in
not
Portland.
happening. You know why
Light
Wembanyama is not happening to Portland's home? Because if he's in Portland, he lasts 2 seasons and he's gonna break down. So no, they're cursed up there when it comes to the big guys. I'm not trying to hear that.
Isn't that so
No.
Portland?
Oh my God! Keep Wembanyama out of Portland. No way.
He never plays.
No, do not have him up in Portland.
That's
I
a
don't
Portland
wanna see
thing to
that.
do.
No, as a big guy. Other players I'm cool with, but as a big guy, no.
I mean, he might get him a championship like Bill Walton and then break down. That might be worth it. He might not be Sam Bowie and Greg Oden. He might be Bill Walton.
Hey, he might be part-time Bill Walton.
Exactly. Top 75.
Not top 75.
Well, he made it, so
He shouldn't. He only made it because the first 50 were automatically picked again.
All right, fellas. Reggie Red said, "Ticket. When you gonna make Low apologize for saying Jrue Holiday would have clamped Jordan?"
He said that.
he said Jrue Holiday like
Y'all the ones don't hold these dudes accountable.
Hold on, Ticket. Hold up. Go ahead, Mars. Say what you said. What did he say?
He said swap Jrue Holiday. And
Y'all the
Gary
ones
Payton in the 90s
again. Y'all the ones don't hold them dudes accountable. Y'all the ones let Low and them get away with y'all everything I say. Y'all hold me accountable. But when Low and them say bullshit like what he said, don't nobody keep that same energy with him.
Ticket, I never heard him
The man said he was a better defender. He said he was a better defender than Gary Payton, man.
Yeah, he did.
With a straight face.
Hold on. I wasn't here yesterday.
We had this conversation. I was on Low ass for that. Like,
I want y'all to stop this, and I want y'all to stop it right now. Jimmy Butler told he told Jrue Holiday up. But Jrue Holiday is still a top 3 defender in the NBA.
He ain't clamping Jordan. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I never said that.
He ain't shutting Jordan down.
Low said
He's
that.
not a better defender than Gary Payton. No, he is not. He is not a better on-ball. He is not a better on-ball defender than Gary Payton. He is not a better team defender than Gary Payton. He is not a better transition defender than Gary Payton. He is not a better defender than Gary Payton.
Wait. What I said is he's the top 3 defender in the NBA today.
Which is fine. I got no problem with that. Which is fine. I got no problem with that.
But I didn't like what I heard from y'all yesterday, just dogging Jrue Holiday because Jimmy Butler put it on him. Like,
why not?
Bob, it was no possible love Jrue could get yesterday. It was nothing you can say good about Jrue.
What I'm saying is this: Jimmy got at Jrue, that happened, but Jrue is still one of the best defenders in the NBA. Jimmy would have done that to anybody.
So why can't you get on Jrue for getting cooked by Jimmy?
No, you can't. You can't. What I'm saying is y'all can't just act like Drew's not a great defender now.
And we're not acting like that. No. In fact, that's why we on him like this.
Who got cooked by Jimmy, and that's why we're giving Jimmy his flowers because he cooked one of the top 3 defenders.
And that's what I'm saying. Let's give Jimmy his flowers as opposed to knocking Jrue Holiday. Nobody could have stopped Jimmy. Nobody. Name one person in NBA history that could have stopped
Gary Payton.
Gary Payton would have got his ass toe up too.
Gary Payton. Because he would have been balking. No, he would have been balking at. He would have been balking at.
You think Jimmy Butler's talking to Gary Payton like he did to
Jimmy Butler's getting away with that. 52 then.
I don't think Jimmy Butler's getting away with that trash talk to Payton.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he will. What's Gary Payton gonna do? But I don't think get his ass toe up too.
He might still get charged, but
I've been around a long time, and I don't ever remember seeing somebody a perimeter player put outside of Jordan, somebody like that's that good in the playoffs, particularly in the playoffs.
Jordan is the guy, and Jimmy is God's son.
But what we're doing is that we're getting off the subject here. Let's get
the subject.
The subject was
every single bucket he gave Jrue Holiday, he would have gave to Gary Payton.
The subject was Jrue Holiday locking up Jordan?
No, he is not. No, he is not. And the fact that Lowe said that, he's super wild for that.
Hey,
he didn't say lock up. He didn't say lock up. He said he would do just as good, if not better, of a job than Gary Payton. That's what he said. He didn't say lock up.
Just as good, it's not better.
I said whether or not you guys disagree with that, that's fine. But I'm just saying he didn't say he would lock up.
He didn't say lock him up. He said he'd do just as good as Gary.
Wait a second. Hold on. Matter of fact, low on that shit. I'm with low on that.
Hell
Matter
no,
of
you're
fact,
not,
now I
bro.
think
No,
on it.
you're
Now
not,
I think
bro.
on
Step into it.
now
Oh
I think
my
on.
God.
I just say I'm happy we had this conversation. Chill, Fluent, Mars, anybody else. I'm happy we had this conversation. Now I realize Jrue Holiday actually is just as good, if not better, of a defender than Gary Payton.
Based on what, Big Ox?
Based on just defensive capabilities.
Okay, so keep going, because again, when I think about Gary Payton as a defender, right? When I think about Gary Payton as a defender, as an on-ball defender, I think he's better than Jrue Holiday. As a transition defender, I think he's better than Jrue Holiday. I think he's a better rebounder. I think he's better off ball than Jrue Holiday. I think he's tougher than Jrue Holiday in terms of durability. He plays more. Jrue Holiday, up until recently, was breaking down a lot. That matters as a defensive player because you're not as durable. So with
y'all think Gary Payton tough just because all that talking?
No, we not there. You ain't hear. You didn't hear me.
I think Gary Payton's tough because he's tough. Like,
right. There's a difference between talking tough and actually being tough. You can talk tough and not be tough. Actually, Gary Payton is tough. He doesn't just talk tough. He is that, and he stands up to any and everybody.
And so does Jrue.
Right, and so does Jrue, who doesn't talk that much.
He stood up to Jimmy and got his ass sat down.
And Gary Payton would have got the same treatment.
Well, I don't know that. Gary Payton, and we talking about a guy who's a generational defender. Jrue Holiday is one of the better defenders of his generation, but is he a generational defender? Marcus Smart won the Defensive Player of the Year last year. That's the first time in almost 30 years that a guard did it. And who was that guard? That was Gary Payton.
Yeah, but we know Jrue Holiday is better than Marcus Smart, right?
We do know that he's a better player than Marcus Smart.
No, defensively, he's better than Marcus Smart as well, right?
I don't know. He doesn't have that depoy.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what, Mars? I think I am going to go that way. I do think Jrue Holiday is a better defender than Marcus Smart. I do think he's more versatile than Marcus Smart and does a little bit more. I am going to say that. I will say that. But to say that Gary Payton, for the better part of his career as a defender, dealing with the perimeter players that he had to deal with during his era, and being the versatile defender that he is, if you put him in the same situation that Jrue Holiday was in if you put him in the same situation that Jrue Holiday was in yesterday with Jimmy Butler, where he kept letting Jimmy Butler get the basketball, right? He wasn't able to be physical with Jimmy Butler. I still think that I'm not sure that I'm not sure that Jimmy Butler roasts Gary Payton like he did like he did Jrue Holiday. I'm just not sure.
I agree with that. That was my biggest issue with Jrue.
I actually think Gary Payton turns Jimmy up even a little more with all that rah-rah talking. I think if anything, that'll turn Jimmy up a little more. He might, instead of 56, he might have had 60 on Gary Payton ass with all that talking and
This is
barking.
nuts right here. Oh my God. This is super
Next.
All right, y'all. What we do need to transition to, and we haven't talked about it yet. Yeah, Damo, come on. We talking about the Lakers.
It should be the Superchats.
Gary Payton most of the time into that Gary, that's all fouls. Gary Payton ain't moving his feet like Jrue Holiday.
What?
Anyway, I'm sorry.
With your feet, not your hands. Beat him to the spot. Turn your defender.
Grizzlies versus Lakers, y'all. I need Game 6 predictions. And how is this series going to go? Does it end tonight or does it go to 7?
It ends tonight.
It ends tonight. It should end tonight. I hope it ends tonight.
Dylan Brooks will make 5 threes.
I don't think Dylan Brooks makes any
Say
three.
good night.
Dylan Brooks will make 5 threes.
Over.
3 things are about to happen in the lead to this series being over tonight. We're about to have a great game from AD. We're about to have a great game from Austin Reeves. We're about to have a great game from Dennis Schroeder. Those are the 3 guys I feel are going to play the best for us. LeBron's going to have a cool game, but that's going to be the X factors for us winning tonight.
The difference in this ball game is that the Memphis Grizzlies are facing an elimination game. And the fact that they face an elimination game, things are a lot different on the road than they are in your building. A lot different. The Los Angeles Lakers are battle tested. I can't keep bringing that up enough, guys. When you battle tested and you in your building with Anthony Davis playing the way Anthony Davis has been playing, with LeBron James, who will be better tonight than what he was a couple of nights ago. I think he will be a lot better. I would like to see that offense move a little bit more. That's what I would like to see. I think that Troy Brown's minutes should be limited tonight. I think that Troy Brown's minutes should be, not only should Troy Brown's minutes be minutes be limited tonight, I think Darvin Ham needs to shorten his bench. I am not interested in Malik Beasley being on the floor if he can't hit shots. I am not. Because, again, you got a bunch of one-dimensional guys who, if they're not doing their job, they are useless. So that bench needs to be shorter, and I think guys like James, I think Anthony Davis, I think Vanderbilt, this is going to be a defensive battle, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get 35 to 40 minutes out of all of you guys tonight because I'm shortening this bench because this could be a dogfight and a low-scoring game.
Is it possible that Dylan Brooks did his job by poking the bear? Is it possible that Brown emptied his tank? Is it possible that Father Time is going to show?
Well, that's been happening, Big Ox.
Father Time's already shown up. I'm going to tell you, I think you're going to see a different LeBron James tonight, and one that maybe you're expecting, maybe you're not. One, I don't think you're going to see as many 3-point shots from him, and I think you're going to see double-digit assists. I think you're going to see that facilitator come out, and because he knows he's going to need big games from AD and Austin Reeves and Rui, and I think you're going to see that from him getting them off quickly, like early and often. You're going to see big games from those guys, but it's going to be because of him facilitating double-digit assists.
That makes sense.
LeBron.
That makes sense for sure.
I just don't want to see Rui center minutes. Please, Wyndon Gabriel. If you got to get 10 minutes, put Wyndon Gabriel in there to defend the rim and be one-dimensional. I don't care what it comes to. I don't care what 3-guard. Hell, you can do a 4-guard lineup for all I care. I better not see Rui at the 5. That's all.
Damo. They got to play Mohamed Bamba. They got to play Mohamed Bamba.
I feel like they got to play Mo Bamba. I don't get the hate. I'm not saying start the guy. I'm not saying
what's with the Mo Bamba? You don't think Mo Bamba can give you 7 to 10 quality minutes at center?
No, see, you use the words quality. No. He can give you minutes. He can be out there, sure.
Fine. 7 to 10, 7 to 10 minutes at center and 5 fouls just to slow down a little bit.
He can do that, but yeah, Juan Toscano could have done that.
No, he cannot. Juan Toscano cannot have done that.
I think Mo
He can
Bamba
give you 7 to 10 minutes.
I think Mo Bamba could give you like that. Give you 5 fouls, a block.
In a 3.
Thomas Bryant could have done that. Thomas Bryant could have done that.
Thomas Bryant didn't want to play because that was his big deal. Is he was bitching about playing time,
and then he went to go behind Jokic.
Gabriel's getting minutes. That's what I'm not understanding. I was so hot when we traded Thomas Bryant because he was impactful, and I loved him since he was a rookie. When he was a rookie on the Lakers bench, dancing around, having fun, I loved him. He wanted to leave for a very knowledgeable, a logical reason. Why are y'all putting Wyndon Gabriel on the court over me? Why are y'all willing to keep Wyndon Gabriel and use him as the backup center when AD comes back versus me? I'm better than him, which he is.
Yeah, now he's behind DeAndre Jordan. Nice.
Hey, now he's not getting minutes from them.
You know how bad you have to be behind DeAndre Jordan. That's
I don't know that at all.
Yo, so fellas,
greatest shooter of all time, right?
Facts.
Field goal percentage, Ron. Field goal percentage.
Need Game 6 predictions. Who are we taking tonight?
Lakers.
I take the Lakers in a dogfight.
Floyd?
You know what my loyalty lies. Lakers, baby. It shouldn't have lasted this long.
I think Bron's out of gas, y'all. I think Bron's out of gas.
Wow.
Lakers can still win the series. I'm just talking about Game 6. I think Bron's out of gas, y'all.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be 0 for 2 on your predictions tonight.
Hey, I've been worse than 0 for 2. Plenty of times. Hey, one time I went 1 for 15 from the free throw line. So.
Oh my God! Get Ox off the floor. Hey, Ron, get Ox off the floor. He killing him. Is he rebounding? Is he protecting the rim? He killing him. Get Ox off.
At 1 for 8, are you even let him play anymore?
Get Ox off.
1 for 15 is crazy.
Get Ox off the floor.
You had to be impacting the game some other way, gang.
Get Ox off the floor. He killing us.
Hey, yo, Bob, go to the free throw line. You just expecting him to miss both.
You better box out.
That 1 for 15 from the stripe better included 14 rebounds, 6 blocks, and 2 steals. Otherwise, get Ox off the floor.
It sounds like those rebounds were just off his own misses at this point.
Probably half of them.
Andre Drummond rebounds.
He's like Moses rebounding to himself.
I got the Grizz tonight though.
Mars, who you got?
The Lakers.
Okay. All right. We shall see. I'm gonna go ahead and run down on these super chats right about now. Yo, Hack Ox is
for real.
Jacob McKenzie.
Real talk. Shit. One time I got fouled. I told the ref, I said, yo, you fouled me. He said, you gonna miss the free throws anyway. I'm not calling that.
Ain't no
That's
reason
crazy.
to even send you to the free throw line because you're gonna blow him anyway. So get Ox off the floor.
How about we call this foul on the ground so you guys could just keep possession?
Get Ox off the floor, Ron. Get him off the floor, right? I'm the coach grabbing his jersey to get Ox off the floor. Get Ox.
I'm telling you, you really happy to get one. If Rudd give you one free throw, you like, yes, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. Jacob McKenzie said,
I love it.
Will Game 6 Clay come out today or he's fake?
Well,
He'll
Game
come
6
out.
Clay,
I hope he does.
Yeah. Game 6 Clay is a real thing. Yes, it is. 100%. Game 6 Clay is definitely a real thing.
25 at least from Clay tonight.
In a losing effort.
Donovan Samuel sent the flurry of super chats. Y'all go ahead and let me read all three of these. He said, Darvin Ham is not the greatest coach, but he's not getting fired after 1 year.
Right.
Give Darvin Ham some time. He's only been a head coach for less than 1 year, and not to mention the players respect him. He's not getting fired.
Right.
Damo, you giving Ham too much heat, completely ignoring some of the good moves he's made this season with a small sample size.
Right.
Agreed.
What were the good moves?
And don't forget, James was out the lineup a lot of the season.
He played Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis was out of the lineup a lot of the season. So
I just want to hear the good moves. Just tell me what the good moves that Darvin Ham made was. Not logical moves. The good moves he made as a coach. I just got to hit those, and we're good. Because I seen him make a ton of bad moves, which isn't all his fault. Like I said, 50-50. I blame Rob Pelinka just as much as I blame Darvin Ham.
Keeping the team motivated when they were in 13th.
Hey, I'm not hard to impress. Frank Vogel impressed me. I love Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel team was great, and the roster was constructed around him. So I love Frank Vogel. I was happy with him.
Go ahead, Ron.
Kelly Thompson II said Trae is 24. Nate was mediocre. Dre Sass Collins were terrible this year. DeJounte Murray has tunnel vision. Get shooters around Trae. He's a walking 30 and 10.
Okay, first of all, Nate was not mediocre. He and I know this isn't saying much, but still in pros, he outcoached Doc in that series, so he's not mediocre. All right, I know that's not saying much, but he did outcoach Doc in that series to get them to the Eastern Conference.
He outcoached the mediocre coach, so he's above mediocre.
Right, so he did do that. And DeJounte Murray has tunnel vision. Well, DeJounte Murray, he doesn't play with the basketball like Trae Young does. He's a scorer, and that's what he is now. So I'm not buying that. No, I don't agree with that at all.
I didn't like the DeJounte pickup, but I thought DeJounte was just overrated anyway. But I got killed for that. I don't know how people feel about him now, but when I said he was overrated, people said I didn't watch basketball.
Well, overrated based on what, Mal? Whenever I hear the word overrated,
people were elevating him to a level that I don't think was justified based on the fact that he was 19-9-9 in San Antonio, like the near triple double and stuff. People were saying he's like a top 10 guard in the league. No, he wasn't.
You asking a lot.
So I was like, because I know people weren't watching the Spurs. By my own admission, I watched a few too many Spurs games last season when DeJounte Murray was there. So I was actually watching him play like a bit too much. And I know people weren't watching the Spurs. They were looking at the box score and they saw like 2.5 steals or something, 19-9-9. They were like, oh, DeJounte Murray, he's really good. And then he made the All-Star team. And I'm like, yeah, you guys aren't watching him. I'm like, I know you ain't watching him, and I don't blame you for not watching him. The Spurs are a tough team to watch. But I was like, yeah, you guys are just trying.
Not as bad as Detroit this year. And I was trying, Mars. I was trying.
Yeah, I watched too many Detroit. I watch a lot of the bad teams. I do watch a lot of the bad teams.
You watch Pistons games.
I was trying, Mars.
That's a very tough watch.
I was trying.
Killian Hayes with his 4 right-hand dribbles a game. Like, it's really bad to watch.
So mad at you.
Jay Nudie said, what AAU team Damo played on?
He told us already.
I know that was free.
He told us already. Yeah. We did this one, yeah.
The Tribe One said DeMar does what most All-Stars do. Play a little worse in the playoffs than they do in the regular season. Randle is different. He's unplayable.
Randle is unplayable, 100%. But DeMar DeRozan doesn't play a little worse. He plays.
I'd rather take the 115 from the line from Ox than have Randle in.
I concur.
Hey, Fluent. Big Dom Rich want to know who's going to coach Detroit. The team you hate to watch.
Man.
I don't know this.
Dwayne Casey is the type that might elevate one of his assistants because that's just kind of the kind of guy he is. If not, look for a guy like Adrian Griffin. might be one they'll give a shot to.
Casey got fired.
He just moved to the front office.
He moved up to the front office.
Okay.
Donovan Samuel said, Damo, he was the one coach that was able to get Russ to buy in coming off the bench and putting Reeves in the starting lineup.
I feel you.
There you go. You said give him one.
I said give me one. W.
You
Even though that is literally the only way that Russ was going to work on the Lakers. Like that was the only foreseeable way that was going to work. But I give you that. He had Russ actually buying into it.
And I did give him that idea.
And he thrived too. By the way,
He
we were talking about Russ at one
thrived.
point as being the
That
sixth
says a
man
lot
of the
about
year.
Russ though too. I know I'm hard on Russ, but that does say a lot about him that he did it.
I'm super hard on Russ, but I was happy seeing like us actually working. I was happy seeing him willing to do it, willing to come off the bench, and being somewhat successful in that role. That was great. So I'll give him that. I'll give Darvin Ham that. I'll give that to him.
Don't blow us away with your enthusiasm, Damo. Damn. Okay.
It's still fire room. I still want him going. But hey, I will give him that. I will concede and give him that one.
Fine. He did do that. So
It's Mr. GQ to you said, how do all of Ticket's arguments always trickle back down to LeBron?
that's a question that you gotta ask
Great
Ticket.
question.
Let's go to the next one.
Jay Reed from Akron. Yo, KD Russia said at Mars, if the Knicks win the chip, is Julius Randle still Julius Randle? At the panel, what do we do with Brunson's rankings in the league if they win?
If
If
the Knicks
Brunson
win,
as well.
Julius Randle still will not play one good playoff game the whole way. So yes, he's still the same Julius Randle. Them winning doesn't change the fact that Julius Randle is trash. And the Jalen Brunson thing, I mean, if somehow the Knicks manage to win,
And he's the best player, Finals MVP. We definitely gonna have a conversation about Jalen Brown. At least amongst everyone who was like they overpaid for him. At least that crowd of people that was upset about him getting that contract.
the Luka Doncic conversation is going to be very different.
That's what I'm going to, Mars. That's what I'm getting to, Mars. I tried to tell y'all. He carried. Luka's a bum.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
Yo, Joe Young said, Ticket cooked your boy. He is crazy. What is he talking about? Don't even make any sense. They buy into the system. Got to give it time. Ham will do fine.
Hey, Joe Young, do me a favor. Follow me on Twitter. I do Twitter Spaces. I don't know about no one else on this panel. I don't know about nobody else on Player's Choice. But everybody in the comments, anybody that got something to say about me, my takes, best believe I'll debate anybody, anytime, any day. I do Twitter Spaces anytime I get a chance.
That's why he up here.
I stream. Best believe if you got an opinion, I want to hear it. Let me hear your takes. Let me hear what you got to say. Don't do a lot of this. Let's have a conversation. Follow me on Twitter. Pull up to a space. Joe Young.
Real easy to scream from the back of the cafeteria, but when you're invited on the stage, it ain't that quick. It ain't that easy, huh? You can scream from the back of the cafeteria, though.
Bruno Montiero said, wish Chill saw my super chat yesterday, man. Timing was so unlucky. The Book of Chill.
Oh yeah, it was an elite book.
Chill. I forgot to tell you, someone gave us a list of some of your favorite sayings, and I told them about that. We're going to make the book of all your chillisms. Coming soon.
Only thing is, he left off Take It Light. That's the only thing.
No, we're gonna put it.
Oh, it was him who left that off, not me.
Yeah, he left it off.
He left it off. Yeah.
Take it. Brian Green said, do you know that Pau Gasol led the Lakers in win shares in both regular seasons of the two championships? No, Shaq led the team during the three-peat.
I was asking to define how win shares is calculated.
Cool stats.
Because using stats that you don't understand, like what are you talking about? Like, and if you're gonna use that stat to try it, because I know what picture you're trying to paint. You're trying to paint that Kobe Bryant wasn't that impactful.
Right.
Like, just shut up. Like, genuinely, like you're literally just using stats you don't understand to paint a picture. And that's why people get mad at people who use stats, because of people like you. Like, you don't know what the stats mean. You don't understand context of stats, and you just spew them out when they favor your argument, and you say stuff like that.
Yeah. And what you can also do too is you can also at the end of that super chat just say Gasol was better than what people give him credit for, instead of trying to discredit Kobe Bryant, which is what you're trying to do. That's what you're trying to do.
Hey, in the book, on the page it says "Take it light, but take it." We have a picture of Dub.
He ain't in that. No.
NBA Lanny said Monday's episode's gonna be real interesting. Kangs in 7. Flashlight emoji.
I hope so.
Yeah, because we want LA.
No, y'all don't.
Listen, you know what you can do? You guys can play the Grizzlies in a series on your own.
We'll play the Grizzlies. Hey, Grizzlies 7.
Yeah, but the Cancun Invitational.
Y'all can meet up in some.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge, Fluent. I'm close to the edge. Don't push me.
The Cancun Invitational.
Cancun Invitational is crazy. Brian Green also said Sacktown still crying about the refs after 20 years.
Well, look, Chill-Town. I need you to do me a favor, Chill-Town. They say we're still crying about it. I need you to call Shaq and ask, is he still praising that fraudulent ring?
Yes, he is. As a matter of fact, yes, he is.
He's still celebrating.
He actually let me try on the 2002 NBA championship ring. It couldn't fit around my finger. It was this big.
Was it plated gold?
Did you hear the ring?
Was it plated?
Yeah, it was too big to fit around my finger. It was like dangling on.
As long as it was plated gold, that's all right because it don't count. That's the only ring that deserves an asterisk. That Disneyland ring that Brian got holds more weight than that ring.
Are you going to sit here and tell me that your boys were up 24 points in a playoff game and y'all got cheated? That's what I'm understanding from you.
Exactly.
That's what I'm listening to from you. Y'all was up 24 points and y'all got cheated. Are you kidding me right now?
I want to answer my question. Sorry. So Jay, you've worn an NBA championship ring, correct?
I did. Yes.
Fluent Jr., as you can see, there he is wearing an NBA championship ring as well. How many rings?
That's a real ring.
How many rings have the Kings worn?
Oh damn.
What's that got to do with anything right
now?
Now
you're more fluent.
Why you always got to do that? I'm out of here, man. I can't do this today.
You ain't going nowhere, Big Ox. No, you ain't. You ain't going nowhere.
Actually, I got to go play one-on-one with Mini Mamba. He's gonna kick my butt.
I hope he does too. I hope he beats you bad.
All right, fellas. I got a couple more I want to get to. Andrew G. Ain't seen you in a while, my brother. Appreciate you chiming in. He said, told you JB and JT got that belt ready for anybody. Best duo in the NBA. Banner 18 incoming. Hey, Ron, hold that L. Hey, I'm in Cancun, baby.
East, maybe.
It's big dubs over here. I'm in Cancun.
Hold on. That dude, Andrew G, stays in my comments roasting Jayson Tatum on the regular. Now all of a sudden, here we are. I told y'all dudes, you have to be out of your mind if you think I'm buying any of this. I almost had to block this dude how much he talk about Jayson Tatum in a bad way. And now all of a sudden, here we are, and I told y'all we got the belt ready.
You convinced him. You convinced him.
Are we really doing this right now?
Hey,
my God.
This like Fluent said, you changed his mind.
I tried to.
He changed his mind. Now he's more fluent.
God.
All right, last one, and I'm out.
Slander 22 said, if the Bulls never traded Butler in 2018, what do y'all think the Bulls could have done to have more success with Jimmy leading them?
Nothing.
Took D Rose out the game.
Yeah,
they could have built.
Go back 6 years.
They could have built a successful team around Jimmy. They just weren't committed to doing that. They could have.
And is that? I think that
don't even have a shooting coach.
To be honest with you, that crew still. If Rondo doesn't break his hand, they beat Boston, and that crew was still him and Wade and him, Wade and Rondo. I think they still together.
That was a conspiracy. Rondo wasn't hurt. They made him sit out.
All right, fellas.
It's that time for Papa Bear. Are we done or are we doing more?
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Appreciate everybody for chiming in. Actually, Fluent, I got a couple more super chats. They just came in. I want to go ahead and read these. They last-minute super chats. We'll catch you tomorrow. Or we'll catch you Monday.
Monday
it
is. All right, Tom. Got a couple more super chats.
Today's Friday.
Today is
so
Friday.
Even if the Kings win, you can't talk.
No, yes, chill tomorrow.
We'll be on the mall. Yes, we will. We'll be on the mall.
Hey, chill time. Depending on how this game goes, I might not see.
I better not have to come look for you because I will. Yes, I will.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there inviting all smoke.
Here we go. I've been that. Said 2021 is the real quote-unquote bubble year. The shortened off season really affected the Heat and the Lakers. Mars, I love you. Please remember that when you talk about Jimmy Butler postseason performances?
Okay, first of all, the shortened season, it was 10 games. That's it.
Oh.
2021 was 10. They played 72 games that year. It wasn't like they played 40 and they missed half the season. The season was shortened by 10 games. So it wasn't that much different than a regular season. Yeah, they didn't have fans or they had limited fans, but that was not a bubble year. No, it was not.
If Jimmy Butler was held to the superstar standards of real superstars, like people try to portray him to be in the playoffs every time he goes off, we wouldn't need that context of he had a shortened off season and it was a bubble year and the year was shorter. We wouldn't give other superstars that context. We wouldn't do that. But because Jimmy Butler isn't as good as people try and make him out to be after every time he goes off in the playoffs, we are allowed to give him that type of context. My whole point was, if you hold him in the top 5 light, hold him to top 5 standards. But we don't do that because we know he's not that good. That's it. I think Jimmy Butler's really good. And the whole time I spoke about Jimmy Butler, I've always held him in the top 12, 13 range of the NBA. But the people who try and act like he's top 5 every time he explodes in the playoffs, and then when he underperforms, you don't hold him to top 5 standards because you know deep down he's never been that caliber of player. That's all I'm saying. That's all I've ever said. So I just want make that clear again. That's it.
Last super chat is actually directed towards you as well, Mars. Greatest said, Mars is going live tomorrow. Kobe, Iverson, Melo, and John Stockton fans, let's combine like Xerxes army in 300. See you there, Mars Bars.
Well, I appreciate you saying
they're coming for you, Mars. They're coming.
Hey, they can watch. I don't mind. I'm happy
as long
as people are watching. I don't mind. But I think I am going live on my channel for the first time tomorrow. So yeah, big milestone.
Mars.
But I think what we're going to be talking about, I mean, the John Stockton fans might actually like me because I think it's a topic that favors John Stockton. So yeah, pull up tomorrow 5 p.m. Eastern. I will be going live on my channel for the first time. So
I may have to come through for that. Yeah,
I tried to make sure it doesn't conflict with chill, but if it does, I apologize.
No, we are. I'm on at 12 Eastern, so you got plenty of time.
I made sure to go later so I didn't conflict with the players.
Plenty of time, no doubt.
All right, fellas. Damo, you got anything to say on the way out?
Yeah, man. It was fun today. Hey, if y'all got Kick, pull up on Kick because I'm definitely streaming after this. Got a lot to get into, a lot to talk about. So yeah, that's Damo on Kick. Again, anybody that got any questions or got any comments about my takes, hey, I'm free on Twitter 24/7. That's Damo on Twitter. I'm in Twitter Spaces more than low. And trust me, it can be just me and you on stage. I don't need none of my friends or no supporters to back me. I can take you one-on-one, anybody. Oh, and everybody let Ticket know. I'm still waiting for my invitation to come on there and talk to him because Ticket's been talking about me. He got a video on me. Ticket, I want to you, gang. Like, invite me on to talk. That's all I gotta say.
Ox?
Kings in 7. We want LA.
Chill. Anything on the way out?
Take it light, but take it.
See y'all Monday, same time. You know what it is.